It's Wednesday, May 27th. There are new questions over the budget and construction timeline of Ottawa's new Civic Hospital campus.
It was something that happened with the disconnection of the vehicle, and currently MTO is working on what could have created that disconnect.
Dramatic scenes in the train yard area after an OC Transpo bus rolled into a grocery store after coming loose from a tow truck.
And a high-profile departure from Prime Minister Mark Carney's caucus. Former Environment Minister Stephen Guilbeault will quit the Liberal Party today, according to government sources, over Carney's reversal of several climate policies. Your Morning Ottawa starts right now.
Good morning. Come on in. I'm Rosie Edda.
Happy Wednesday, everybody. I'm Will Aiello.
And I'm Alyssa Lamb.
And yesterday it was a beautiful day, but those wind gusts were so strong. I was watching someone that was biking up Woodruff there. They were just hustling, moving through, trying to battle those winds.
Yeah, it was tough. It's not going to be as windy today. Thankfully, the winds have calmed down a little bit, but it was beautiful. It was hot. It was sunny. But yes, unfortunately, the winds didn't let up.
It did keep the bugs away, though. If you were outside,
it sure
which was
did.
very nice. All right, full details on the rest of the week coming up. Start with the news headlines at the 6 o'clock hour. And we begin with new questions over the timeline and the cost of the new civic campus of the Ottawa Hospital. So far, the project consists of a nearly completed parking garage, while the hospital remains a hole in the ground. Ottawa South MPP John Fraser says that there is no end in sight. He says he's concerned construction could go well into the 2030s and that the price tag could skyrocket well beyond the original $3 billion budget. Meantime, the Ontario Health Coalition wants more action from the province.
So we have a local share that's going to be approaching $1 billion from about $300 million. $1 billion now. So that's a lot on the residents of Ottawa.
The hospitals are completely overwhelmed. They've got portables outside. They're using garages. Like, at what point do we say it's an emergency, all boots on the ground, fix the hospital system in Ottawa?
The hospital says that the parking garage is expected to open this summer and that it is finalizing the design and construction timeline.
It was a dramatic scene east of downtown yesterday when an OC Transpo bus detached from a tow truck and careened into the side of a busy grocery store at train yards. It happened around 1 o'clock yesterday afternoon at the Farm Boy store on Belfast Road. OC Transpo says the decommissioned bus was being towed to a maintenance facility when it came loose and made contact with the building. OC Transpo police, fire, and MTO responded to the scene.
The bus was being towed by an OC Transpo towing, and there was something that happened with the disconnection of the vehicle, and currently MTO is working on what could have created that disconnect.
Potential charges that could be laid under the Highway Traffic Act include having an insecure load, but the situation is still under investigation.
An Ottawa charity supporting kids and young adults with autism is sounding the alarm just weeks away from hosting its popular summer camp. Children at Risk says its funding through the federal government summer jobs grant is being cut, putting Camp Kaleidoscope at risk. Camp Kaleidoscope relies on the Canada Summer Jobs Program to hire counselors. But for a second straight year, that stream of funding is being cut dramatically. The federal government is shifting its focus for the Canada Summer Jobs Program to support young workers in other sectors like trades and environmental protection. The charity that runs the camp applied for funding for 67 jobs. They were approved for just 10. Organizers say that makes operations difficult because the camp offers a 1-to-1 counselor to camper ratio to accommodate the complex needs of children with autism.
On April 14th, we received a decision from Canada Summer Jobs that we had a 50% cut in the number of jobs from last year, which was a 75% cut from the year before. Disabilities just don't seem to be top of mind today for the support out there through the government, and we want to know why.
Parents say there is a real lack of support and programs available for Ottawa kids and youth with autism. Camp Kaleidoscope is set to run from July 6th to August 7th. A local MPP says the province should help keep kids cool in the classrooms as temperatures continue to rise.
This bill, if passed, would set a maximum temperature in schools and school buses of 26 degrees Celsius. It would also require school boards to develop heat strategy plans that include the use of mechanical ventilation systems like heat pumps and air conditioning, adaptations to school buildings and schoolyards such as green roofs, energy-efficient windows and doors, planting trees and installing exterior blinds.
New Democrat MPP for Ottawa West Nepean, Chandra Pasma, introduced the Fighting Extreme Heat in Schools Act at Queen's Park. The NDP wants the province to invest in safe, modern classrooms with air conditioning. Last June, both the Ottawa Public and Catholic School Boards said all schools have at least one area with partial or portable air conditioning.
Dozens of firefighters responded to a barn fire in the Dwyer Hill area Tuesday. This happened on Franktown Road near Dwyer Hill Road around 1 p.m. No animals or people were injured. Officials say high western winds fanned the flames as they tore through the heritage structure. It was engulfed in 30 minutes.
When you have a wind-driven fire, you have to be very aware of your surroundings. The fire conditions can change very quickly based on the gusts of wind, and you just have to combat it. That you're obviously in a position that if you have to evacuate or you have to move out of the way, you do so safely.
There's no estimate on the damage. The cause of the fire remains under investigation. Former Environment and Climate Change Minister Stephen Guilbeault will quit the Liberal Party caucus today. Sources tell CTV News he is concerned about the Carney government's rollback of climate policies. Four federal government sources tell CTV News one concern is the most recent iteration of an agreement with Alberta aimed at building a new pipeline. 14 Liberal MPs sent a letter to Carney before the agreement with the Alberta government was signed, expressing unease with the situation. The letter says they are concerned the government's credibility on environment will be, quote, seriously compromised.
Western premiers wrapped up meetings in Kananaskis, Alberta Tuesday. Trade barriers and U.S. tariffs were on the agenda, but those topics were overshadowed by talks of a separation referendum in Alberta. Host Premier Alberta's Danielle Smith and her BC counterpart David Eby opened the meeting with some tough talk over each other's motives. Smith doubled down on her assertion that BC is at least partly to blame for Alberta's separatist sentiment.
Let's look at all of the voices in leadership who have been trying to stop pipelines from being built, who've been trying to shut in Alberta's oil and gas development. That's created the environment that we're in today.
Eby says a referendum on separation is not what Canadians want. He's warning that the impact of the sovereignty question would be serious for his province. Saskatchewan Premier Scott Moe defended Smith's decision to hold a referendum on sovereignty, but he encouraged Albertans to look ahead.
The lineup has been unveiled for Festival Parasol at Gatineau's Casino Lac Leamy.
The opening night includes Phil Lauzon and Tanea Taylor. You may recognize Tanea's name as our Bell Media Weekender and radio host on Pure Country 94.
Other performers include Queenie, Mike Clay, and Goodfella, among others. Festivals. Parasol runs from July 16th to 26th, and the weather is getting nice. Festival season is making a return,
yes.
And I know that all of us are very excited about that.
I love it, and great for Tanea. She has such a beautiful voice. Yes, I know we had her on the show performing for us a couple months ago, and stunning. I was blown away. So very, very fun.
Talent right here in our building.
Absolutely. Well, our forecast today, not as hot as yesterday, but also not as windy.
We'll take that.
Right?
Okay.
So a little good, a little not so good. But overall, the forecast is looking pretty decent. It will be a little bit cooler than we expected, though, throughout the rest of the work week. 24 is a high today, so still above seasonal, and the sun setting at 8:38 p.m. later on tonight. It's very warm to start off your morning. You'll feel it outside as soon as you head outdoors. 16 degrees already this morning, so in those high double digits. 13 for Kingston, 15 in Brockville this hour, 14 over in Cornwall. We're already getting to see some sunshine, so it will be nice and sunny throughout your morning hours. It's later on this afternoon that we will start to see an increase of cloudiness. Afternoon hour today, that's when we'll start to get a little bit cloudier. We could even see some spotty showers late this evening. So unfortunately, our little stretch of 3 days no rain is coming to an end, as we could see some spotty showers overnight tonight. And then we could see more of that on the way as we head into Thursday and Friday as well. So spotty showers possible. The good news is not nearly as windy today as it was yesterday. You could see just some blue, which means lighter winds gusting around 20 kilometers an hour. North winds into your forecast for the afternoon. And you're sifting through your closet today. Still need those sunglasses, especially throughout the morning hours. Definitely still t-shirt weather, sneakers as well. 24 degrees is the high. Will feel like 25, so not a lot of humidity in the forecast for us, but we will see more clouds into the afternoon. And then if we see some showers, some spotty showers, it will be late this evening. 24 degrees is your high for today. Will feel closer to 25 in the city, 21 in the valley. Same with in Bancroft, 25 in Trenton, Kingston area for today. 24 is your high over in Gatineau as well as in Montreal. So over the next couple of days, temperatures a little bit cooler, unfortunately, and a little bit below seasonal. 11 is the overnight low for tonight. So Thursday and through Friday and Saturday, we could see those spotty showers. 30% chance, so it won't ruin your day. For the most part, it will be dry. It will be nice and sunny. We could just see some spotty showers kind of off and on. 22 for tomorrow, so slightly cooler. Then definitely some cooler temperatures Friday and in through the weekend forecast as well. A daytime high for 20 degrees on Friday. Into 19 degrees is your high as we head into the weekend. Then 20 is the high Sunday, Monday. But then it will slowly warm up middle of the work week.
Weather is brought to you by Manatic Tree. Complete tree care from start to stump.
So far, so good on your roads this morning. Traffic is flowing well on your roads. No major collisions or slowdowns to report. But just a reminder, construction continues along the 417 near Greenbank in both directions, so you can expect delays throughout your drive-in.
Hello, everyone. Jermaine Franklin in the Sports Center newsroom with your must-see moment from Tuesday. For it, let's head to Korea. We've got an outstanding play in the Korean Baseball League. Jonathan Perlaza coming home, avoids the tag, doesn't seem to have a pathway back to the plate until he makes some Matrix-style moves to stick his hand in. The catcher appeared to have Perlaza in a pickle several times, but the shifty runner gets in safely. They had to review this one, but obviously no evidence of a tag being applied, so Perlaza's improv earns him the must-see moment. And right now on TSN, our Roland Garros coverage continues. Novak Djokovic is playing early in the day, while Alexander Zverev will be in action later. That's all for now from the Sports Center newsroom. Have a great day.
All right, after that clip, we're getting all the matrices on load for the next couple of days to make sure we can get those moves as well. All right, it is contest time. Wake up and win with CTV Your Morning and beancars.ca. We could be paying your bills with a massive $20,000 giveaway or maybe some matrix lessons as well that gets you ready for the baseball season. Imagine what you can do with all that cash. Today's code word is riches. So what you do, head to our contest page at ctvottawa.ca or scan that QR code that you see on your screen. Enter today's code word riches with your information for your chance to win. This is the Your Morning $20,000 Pay Your Bills contest brought to you by the wonderful beancars.ca in Carleton Place. Good luck to everybody. Outside through our Centennial Glass Skycam, not as warm as yesterday, but wind speeds, they chill a little bit. Today's daytime high is 24, but we're already in the teens this morning. Stay with us, 6:13 on your Wednesday. We'll be right back.
.15, welcome back. Here are the big stories we are following today on Your Morning Ottawa. There are new questions about the cost and timeline for building Ottawa's new Civic Hospital campus. Former Environment Minister Stephen Guilbeault is expected to resign from the Liberal caucus today over his concerns with Prime Minister Mark Carney's rollbacks of several Trudeau-era climate policies. And the Montreal Canadiens are back on home ice at the Bell Centre tonight for Game 4 of their Eastern Conference Finals series against Carolina. Your full newscast in 15 minutes, but first, a check on the forecast.
All right, it is going to be a beautiful Wednesday ahead. Temperatures already in the teens. We climb north of 20 degrees all the way up to a comfortable 24 this afternoon with just a few clouds in the skies. Wind speeds start to calm down as well. It was breezy yesterday, but a gorgeous Wednesday ahead. We'll see if we can push that into another weekend. Melissa will have those details coming up. Let's take a look at your roads at this hour. No major collisions or detours to let you know about, but just a constant reminder, the 417, especially at Pinecrest and Greenbank, continuing to see construction, so expect delays today, this morning, and probably over the next few weeks ahead.
Questions were raised at Queen's Park yesterday, over the construction timeline and cost of the Ottawa Hospital's new civic campus. An Ottawa MPP suggesting the final price tag could be billions over budget and that those ballooning costs could land in part on Ottawa taxpayers. CTV's Tyler Fleming has more.
Lee Boucher and sister-in-law Nicole regularly walk near Dow's Lake, watching the progress of the new Civic Campus Hospital.
We go to the Civic now. We got top-notch doctors and nurses. We'll be glad it's there. It's going to be awesome.
So far, the project consists of a nearly completed parking garage, while the hospital remains a hole in the ground, which Ottawa South MPP John Fraser says has no end in sight.
It's a decade in on this project since it's got its first funding.
At Queen's Park on Tuesday, Fraser raising concerns the timeline could go well into the 2030s after a comment made by a hospital consultant at a City of Ottawa committee last month. Fraser also suggesting the original near $3 billion price tag will skyrocket.
So we have a local share that's going to be approaching $1 billion from about 300 million. $1 billion now. So that's a lot on the residents of Ottawa.
Many residents not surprised.
I think we're used to it now, you know? We're just used to them screwing up and we're paying with the tax dollars.
The fact that it's not even past the design stage and into implementation is horrifying.
The Ontario Health Coalition calls the new campus a key healthcare facility and wants more action from the province to push its completion.
The hospitals are completely overwhelmed. They've got portables outside. They're using garages. Like, at what point do we say it's an emergency? All boots on the ground. Fix the hospital system in Ottawa.
The Ottawa Hospital says the parking garage is expected to open this summer and that it is finalizing the design and construction timeline for the hospital, one which Boucher expects to be a world-class facility when its doors do open.
I might not be around when it's built.
Tyler Fleming, CTV News.
And that is exactly what Bill Carroll from the Morning Rush and Newstalk 580 CFRA wants to discuss with us this morning. And Bill, we talked about it being way over budget, but the other part about this is the hospitals currently are so overrun. So we just need it open to add and take away some of that pressure from those hospitals as well.
Yeah, this is not like you have to keep taking a bus while they finish the LRT. This is much more urgent than that. And how do you get this far over in time and in money? How? I guess we should be used to it now in this city, but this is unbelievable. If you're one of those people who naively thought that the hospital was going up at the same time as the parking garage, no. The parking garage may be open this summer, but the hospital so far is just a giant hole in the ground. I mean, what we're hearing from John Fraser, now remember, he's an opposition MPP, and opposition MPPs often lie, and as opposed to government MPPs who often, lie. But there may be an agenda at play here. So I'm hoping it's not this bad. But from what he's saying, our portion in the city of Ottawa alone could go from $300 million to $1 billion. That's a huge jump. And it just, it's a reminder of the debate we had before we even started construction here about where the appropriate place was for this hospital. The whole thing is turning out to be an embarrassment. That parking garage, that ugly structure, so close to the Dow's Lake Pavilion, right on our beautiful, potentially beautiful waterfront. It was just a terrible idea to put that parking garage on that part of the land and not, at least you would hope the hospital would have a view of the Dow's Lake and the river and the canal. But no, I mean, it's just we've messed it up from start to finish. So I suppose we shouldn't be surprised. But again, it's really disappointing.
It is, and Bill, not to mention that, potentially Ottawa taxpayers paying over 3 times the estimate from the original estimate back in 2021 with no trust with what's happening right now.
Yeah, 3 times. It's not an overrun. It's an abomination that they could be that far off. And remember, we're talking about it could be the 2030s before it's complete. So that number, do you think that's going to get smaller with inflation continuing? It's not going to get smaller. That's the estimate now. That will probably, if true, get even worse, probably much worse. How much can it cost to build a hospital? Yeah, it's infuriating.
Extremely.
Nice way to start the day, Will. Glad we brought this up.
Now we've fired you up for the rest of the day, so we've done our job. Have a good show,
At least
Bill.
there's an LRT station nearby, near the giant hole in the ground, so There's that.
Hey, you know what? We can take some wins, or maybe we just continue to take some losses. Have a good day, my friend.
You too.
Remember, you can listen to The Morning Rush with Bill Carroll and News Talk 580 CFRA weekdays from 6 till 10. We'll take a peek outside. Sun is shining, winds are calm, 24 is your high, and we're already in the mid-teens. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Today on Your Morning Ottawa, we are asking for your comments on commuting. Whether you bus, walk, or take your car to work or school, we want to know what it's like for you. Describe your commute to us. No expletives, please. Just like all like clean words. Email us yourmorningottawa@ctv.ca.
And we know how badly you want to put those egregious words in towards your script. We won't say them, but that's primarily what you're saying when you're out on the roads.
Honestly, I will say, every time my alarm clock goes off and it's very, very early, I almost don't know if it's early in the morning or late at night. Like, we're kind of in between when your alarm clock goes off around 3:30 a.m. But the one thing I love about our job is that we are missing the traffic. So I drive to work. I have to take my car, unfortunately, because there's not really a lot of options for me at that hour in the morning. And it would probably take me a good hour to 2 hours if I did have to commute from Orleans at that hour. However, the one thing I love is I don't have to deal with traffic. So I think for us, it's like such a benefit that we're on the road kind of, even in the winter, like we're kind of first tracks on the road when it's the snowstorm.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we don't have to deal with traffic, but I know it can be so difficult to commute, and I even know friends who take the bus, and it sometimes takes them an hour and a half to get from the East End to downtown, which that's 3 hours out of your day that you can't get back.
Yeah, it's wild. And, you know, through 2026 so far, OC Transpo has been a mess. People have been waiting outside in the cold for hours during our winter season, and construction has been terrible. We grew up in the Pinecrest and Green Bank area, so that's where my mom and dad live in right now, and they say this is the worst that they've seen it in a very long time, since they can even remember. And Rosie, I was joking with you a little bit earlier because you're going to be talking about the construction in an interview coming up in the 7 o'clock hour. And I said that like from a quote from my dad, who's lived here his whole life. He says this could potentially be the worst he's seen in that area.
Yeah, it's really too bad. I know that a lot of people were complaining about the fact that, okay, you've got one lane that's closed, you've got nothing but back-to-back, bumper-to-bumper traffic. And then when you don't see any construction workers on site, that is extremely frustrating. So we'll talk about that, but apparently the timeline's going to be pushed up. We'll get that finished around the beginning of July, 3 weeks early. I don't know. We'll see. And maybe that'll relieve some of that traffic and that congestion. We will cover that, but we want to hear from you later on in the show. We're asking to describe your morning commute to us. Send us your comments at yourmorningottawa@ctv.ca. And coming up on the show, we check in with College Ward Councillor Lane Johnson about how the traffic headaches are impacting residents of her ward. It is 6:28. You're watching Your Morning Ottawa. Oh, look at all that traffic. I know you don't want to see that. We'll be right back after this. Good morning, just after 6:30. Come on in. We're so glad you could start your day with us. I'm Rosie and Deb.
Happy Wednesday, everybody. I'm Will Aiello.
And I'm Melissa Lamb. And Will, I know coming up in the 7 o'clock hour, you get to visit one of my favorite spots today in your neighborhood.
Yeah, so this week we're headed to Orleans, and I went to Gutsy's, which is a completely gluten-free store. Not just bakery, but they also have your grocery items as well. So it's a one-stop shop for everyone that maybe you choose to be gluten-free or you're celiac. So it's a really great store coming up in our Your Neighborhood segment.
Oh, looking forward to that.
It's so good.
Gutsy's, love the name.
Right?
And I can see why you go there quite frequently.
Absolutely.
All right, details on that coming up with our news headlines. We begin with new questions over the timeline and cost of the new civic campus of the Ottawa Hospital. So far, the project consists of a nearly completed parking garage, while the hospital remains a hole in the ground. Ottawa South MPP John Fraser says that there is no end in sight, and he says he's concerned construction could go well into the 2030s and the price tag could skyrocket well beyond the original $3 billion budget. Meantime, the Ontario Health Coalition wants more action from the province.
So we have a local share that's going to be approaching $1 billion from about 300 million. $1 billion now. So that's a lot on the residents of Ottawa.
The hospitals are completely overwhelmed. They've got portables outside. They're using garages. Like, at what point do we say it's an emergency? All boots on the ground. Fix the hospital system in Ottawa.
The Ottawa Hospital says the parking garage is expected to open this summer and that it is finalizing the design and construction timeline.
It was a dramatic scene east of downtown yesterday when an OC Transpo bus detached from a tow truck and careened into the side of a busy grocery store at train yards. It happened around 1 o'clock yesterday afternoon at the Farm Boy store on Belfast Road. OC Transpo says the decommissioned bus was being towed to a maintenance facility when it came loose and made contact with the building. OC Transpo, police, fire, and MTO responded to the scene.
The bus was being towed by an OC Transpo towing, and there was something that happened with the disconnection of the vehicle, and currently MTO is working on what could have created that disconnect.
Potential charges that could be laid under the Highway Traffic Act include having an insecure load, but the situation is still under investigation.
An Ottawa charity supporting kids and young adults with autism is sounding the alarm just weeks away from hosting its popular summer camp. Children at Risk says its funding through the federal government's summer jobs grant is being cut, putting Camp Kaleidoscope at risk. Camp Kaleidoscope relies on the Canada Summer Jobs Program to hire counselors, but for a second straight year, that stream of funding is being cut dramatically. The federal government is shifting its focus for the Canada Summer Jobs Program to support young workers in other sectors like trades and environmental protection. The charity that runs the camp applied for funding for 67 jobs. They were approved for just 10. Organizers say that makes operations difficult because the camp offers a 1-to-1 counselor to camper ratio to accommodate the complex needs of children with autism.
On April 14th, we received a decision from Canada Summer Jobs that we had a 50% cut in the number of jobs from last year, which was a 75% cut from the year before. Disabilities just don't seem to be top of mind today for the support out there through the government, and we want to know why.
Parents say that there is a real lack of support and programs available for Ottawa kids and youth with autism. Camp Kaleidoscope is set to run from July 6th to August 7th. A local MPP says the province should help keep kids cool in the classroom as temperatures rise this spring.
This bill, if passed, would set a maximum temperature in schools and school buses of 26 degrees Celsius. It would also require school boards to develop heat strategy plans that include the use of mechanical ventilation systems like heat pumps and air conditioning, adaptations to school buildings and schoolyards such as green roofs, energy-efficient windows and doors, planting trees and installing exterior blinds.
New Democrat MPP for Ottawa West Nepean, Chandra Pasma, introduced the Fighting Extreme Heat in Schools Act at Queen's Park. The NDP wants the province to invest in safe, modern classrooms with air conditioning. Last June, both the Ottawa Public and Catholic School Boards said all schools have at least one area with partial or portable air conditioning.
Dozens of firefighters responded to a barn fire in the Dwyer Hill area Tuesday. This happened on Franktown Road near Dwyer Hill Road around 1 p.m. No animals or people were injured. Officials say high western winds fanned the flames as they tore through the heritage structure. It was engulfed in 30 minutes.
When you have a wind-driven fire, you have to be very aware of your surroundings. The fire conditions can change very quickly based on the gusts of wind, and you just have to combat it. That you're obviously in a position that if you have to evacuate or you have to move out of the way, you do so safely.
There is no estimate on the damage. The cause of the fire remains under investigation. Former Environment and Climate Change Minister Stephen Guilbeault will quit the Liberal Party caucus today. Sources tell CTV News he is concerned about the Carney government's rollback of climate policies. 4 federal government sources tell CTV News one concern is the most recent iteration of an agreement with Alberta aimed at building a new pipeline. 14 Liberal MPs sent a letter to Carney before the agreement with the Alberta government was signed, expressing unease with the situation. The letter says they are concerned the government's credibility on the environment will be, quote, seriously compromised.
Western premiers wrapped up meetings in Kananaskis, Alberta Tuesday. Trade barriers and U.S. tariffs were on the agenda, but those topics were overshadowed by talks of separation referendum in Alberta. Host Premier Alberta's Danielle Smith and her BC counterpart, David Eby, opened the meeting with some tough talks over each other's motives. Smith doubled down on her assertion that BC is at least partly to blame for Alberta's separatist sentiment.
Let's look at all of the voices in leadership who have been trying to stop pipelines from being built, who've been trying to shut in Alberta's oil and gas development. That's created the environment that we're in today.
Eby says a referendum on separation is not what Canadians want. He's warning that the impact of the sovereignty question would be serious for his province. Saskatchewan Premier Scott Moe defended Smith's decision to hold a referendum on sovereignty, but he encouraged Albertans to look ahead.
As the Habs prepare for Game 4 tonight, the Canadians are getting support from a Gatineau bakery.
Maison Odo on St. Raymond Boulevard is branding some of its breads with the Montreal Canadiens logo.
Oh, it looks so good. It's their way of cheering on the team on their quest for the Stanley Cup, and the loaves have been selling out daily. No surprise there.
Yeah.
No, and then in the other side in the Western Conference, the Avs got swept, so Las Vegas will be heading towards the Stanley Cup Finals in a tight series here with the Montreal Canadiens. And a reminder, 8 p.m. is the puck drop, so a little bit later tonight.
A late one. So I'm sure we'll have some tired eyes tomorrow in the building and probably elsewhere as well.
Our director, Mike, you're going to be here tomorrow. Hopefully he'll be in our ear tomorrow, and because he is a huge Habs fan.
Lots of Habs fans here in our building and in our city.
Yeah, definitely.
But it's great. I've jumped on the bandwagon. I mean, I would love to see a Canadian team win, and when the Sens go out, I usually try and find another team to support and cheer for. So the Habs made it really easy because it's so close. I've been to games before, which is great. So I was like, go Habs, go.
It might make it a little easier, too, when they're facing the team that swept us in the first round.
That's right.
So
but I don't love them so much that I will stay up past my bedtime to watch them.
Yeah, very late games.
So going to bed on time, I will just, search in the morning who won or lost.
There you go.
We will see some sunshine this morning, a bit of a cloudier afternoon, so we will see an increase of cloudiness today. But overall, today's looking sunny and warm, not quite as hot as yesterday, but not as windy as well. Right now, we're sitting at 16 degrees, so already quite warm to start off your Wednesday morning. 18 in Montreal, 13 in the Valley so far. Everybody getting to see a bit of that sunshine this morning. There is a chance we could see some spotty showers late this evening. So this evening into your overnight, we could see some spotty showers. And unfortunately, we could also see some spotty showers Thursday, Friday, and through Saturday. Nothing that will completely ruin your day. We're not going to see a complete wash. Just if we do see any rain at all, it would be quick and it will clear up quick. And we'll still see lots more sunshine than we will see rain. Wind speeds much calmer today. Yesterday, we saw some crazy winds, especially late in the afternoon, early evening. It has calmed down, so much calmer winds out there this morning, and it will stay calm throughout the day ahead. Instead of southwest winds, though, we're dealing with north winds today, so cooler winds in the forecast for us into your afternoon. 24 is your high for today. We'll feel like 25, so not a lot of humidity in the forecast for us. 24 as well in Cornwall, Brockville, and down in Kempville. 21 in the valley for today. So temperature still just a little bit above seasonal. Average for this time of the year is just around 21, 22 degrees, so we will be a little bit above the daytime norms. However, it will cool off for the next couple of days. 11 is the low for tonight, 22 for tomorrow, so that's very average for this time of the year. Again, we could see those spotty showers from Thursday in through Saturday. Cooler temperatures as we head into Saturday with a high of only 19. It will slowly start to warm up as we head into next week.
Weather brought to you by Manotick Place Retirement Community, a community you can call home.
Eastbound on the 417 slowdowns right now, 416 split in through Maitland. And just a reminder, construction continues on the 417 around Greenbank in both directions, so you will expect delays throughout your drive-in.
Traffic brought to you by Presler Injury Lawyers, 1-800-JUSTICE.
It can be frustrating if you have an appliance breakdown, and it seems with some models, they don't make them like they used to. And as CTV's Pat Foran reports, the cost can escalate quickly if the problem is not diagnosed properly the first time.
It's not working. No heat whatsoever. Louise Renwick of Markham says in early May her 4-year-old oven quit working. She called Samsung, but then decided to go with what she thought was a local repair company. A technician came to her home and charged her almost $800 to change a temperature sensor, but the oven still wouldn't turn on.
So I said, oh, just a minute. I don't think it's working. So I tried it, and it's exactly the way it was before he came in.
She was then told it was the oven's main board that needed replacing. They offered a 10% discount on the part, but with taxes and labor, repairs would be more than what she paid for the stove in the first place.
They won't come back unless I agree to pay another $700-800 on top of the $800 I've already given them.
She hired the A-Team Appliance Repair, which was the first company to pop up in a Google search. On the invoice, it says A-Team Appliance Repair works out of this building in Markham, but the security guard said they left 5 months ago. Our emails to the company were not returned. When we called them, they hung up.
Thank you for calling Appliance Repair Team.
Hello, Lisa speaking. How may I help you today?
Hi, it's Pat Foran calling from CTV News. We're just trying to speak to someone about a complaint. Hello?
That is a very high number of complaints.
The Better Business Bureau says in the past 3 years, there have been 732 complaints filed against the company, and they've been given an F, the Bureau's lowest rating. There's a pattern of complaints.
Consumers are alleging that the company is unable to properly diagnose and repair the appliances effectively, and the cost of repairs are grossly inflated.
The BBB suggests checking its website for reviews, calling a manufacturer directly, and to realize some companies pay Google to be the first to pop up in online searches. As for Renwick, she's putting her money towards a new stove, not more repairs.
I can buy a new one for $1,200 that's better than this stove.
Pat Foran, CTV News.
All right, contest time. We want you to wake up and win with CTV Your Morning and beancars.ca. We could be paying all those nasty bills with a $20,000 giveaway. Think about all those bills just being gone just like that, and maybe a little extra left over as well. Today's code word is riches. So what you do, head over to our contest page at ctvottawa.ca, or you can scan that QR code on the left side of your screen, enter the code word riches with all your information for your chance to win the Your Morning $20,000 Pay Your Bills contest, brought to you by the wonderful beancars.ca in Carleton Place. Good luck to everyone. Outside, the sun is shining, temperatures comfortable. It is 6:45 on your Wednesday. We got a fun show prepared for you. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. Here are some of the top stories we're following today on Your Morning Ottawa. There are new questions about the cost and timeline for building Ottawa's new Civic Hospital campus. Former Environmental Minister Stephen Guilbeault is expected to resign from the Liberal caucus today over his concerns with the Prime Minister Mark Carney's rollbacks of several Trudeau-era climate policies. And the Montreal Canadiens are back on home ice tonight at the Bell Centre for game number 4 of the Eastern Conference Finals against Carolina. Melissa, looking like another sunshine-filled day.
Beautiful sunny skies this morning into the afternoon. Not as hot as it was yesterday, but still nice and warm, a high of 24 degrees. Overnight dropping to 11. We could see some spotty showers later on this evening. Into your Thursday, Friday temperatures, more seasonal, like highs of 22 and 20 degrees. Mix of sun and cloud with a chance of those scattered showers. On your roads this morning, still fairly decent, although we're starting to see some volume build right now. If you're heading the split into downtown West End, if you're heading westbound, the lanes are looking pretty good. If you're heading eastbound on the 417, slowdowns Richmond in through Pinecrest this hour. It is time now for your morning fix, and what is the top prize at Cannes? Some people might say it's the Pomme d'Or, or others might say it's the Pomme Dog. It's an unofficial prize honoring notable canine performance in film. This year's prize went to Yuri for her role in la film La Pereira. The film is about a woman living on a remote island who adopts a little puppy. The Pomme Dog has been handed out since 2001.
What a fun little award that that doesn't get talked about enough at this festival.
No, absolutely. I didn't even know that existed, so I'm so glad I do now.
So cute.
Look at these little pups.
And some of the puppies are fancy too.
Right?
Oh, yeah. Hey, you're in Cannes, so got to show out.
Yeah, got to get a blowout and your best dressed. Yeah, I love it. Well, Peru celebrated one of its national treasures this week. So Monday was National Clown Day in Peru. Hundreds of clowns showed up to fill downtown Lima with music, laughter, and of course, oversized shoes. Clown Day in Peru honors a performer who visited struggling neighborhoods in Lima in the 1980s to bring some joy to those communities.
Okay, stay away from Lima for that one day if you have a clown phobia.
That's because there are people who are terrified of clowns, right? I'm like, this could be like the best of your life or like your worst nightmare at the same time.
I'm glad we were all on the same page without talking about it, because I was going to say the exact same thing. Was if you don't like clowns, that is a real life nightmare coming to life. All of them coming down the street too.
Absolutely. And it's not quite Canada's game, but some people do shuffleboard, take shuffleboard seriously.
To me, shuffle is similar to curling. I mean, not there, but you have to have your weight, you have to have strategy.
So it's Canada versus the U.S. at the first ever Can-Am Shuffleboard Court Tournament in Alberta. Team Canada is represented by players from Alberta, Manitoba, Ontario, and BC. This is a friendly rivalry with bragging rights on the line. The finals are on Friday. Look at that.
I've never played shuffleboard.
No, neither have I.
I have played it
look at that.
one. Sorry, that's not right. I haven't played it. I have taken a couple of shots at one time.
Yeah, right.
Not played the full game, but hey, hopefully Canada can get the first inaugural win.
It's really cool.
Go Canada, go! Let's take a live beauty shot right now. Here's our sky cam on George Street. You see the sun peeking through there. It's going to be a little bit cooler today than yesterday, but overall pleasant. Stay with us. You're watching Your Morning Ottawa, 6:52. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Today on Your Morning Ottawa, we ask for your comments on commuting, whether you bus, walk, or take your car to work or school. We wanted to know, what's it like for you? And here's what you had to say.
Yes, Matt says, I love my drive to work. I have the pleasure of dropping off my children at school and really enjoy the time in the car with them. Once they are dropped off, I can make calls or sing along to my favorite songs. This gets my mind off any heavy traffic or construction. Sing your way through some terrible times. I love it.
I love the positivity, Matt, and that is one thing I miss about, working in the mornings is I don't ever get to take my kids to school, but I hear all about their adventures and how they hum and sing in the car, and I do feel like I miss out, so I love that Matt has such a positive spin on that.
Agreed.
We also have Pamela who says, my morning commute is going upstairs to my office. My husband is on his e-bike. I couldn't imagine driving in this traffic.
It's a lot of traffic, but thank you so much, Pamela. Going back to Matt, there is something about that dropping your kid off. It's such a sense of accomplishment. I don't know. It's just the little things you go, there you go. I did it. They're going to school. Now I'm off to work. But thanks so much. Let's keep this conversation going. We're asking you to describe your morning commute to us. Send us your comments at yourmorningottawa@ctv.ca. Coming up in the next hour, Rise Academy is hosting a pickleball tournament to help support its Impact Now program. We tell you about this really great event and how it supports youth in our community. Our Your Neighborhood feature continues in Orleans. We stopped by Gutsy's, a 100% gluten-free grocery and bakery store, and it's Yard Week. And there are a lot of things to consider, including safety for you and your family. We are paging Dr. Paul to get his top tips on backyard safety. Look at that. Here's a live look through our Centennial Glass Skycam. Pretty nice looking start to your day. 6:57. We're right back after this. It's Wednesday, May 27th. There are new questions over the budget and construction timeline of Ottawa's new Civic Hospital campus.
A high-profile departure from Prime Minister Mark Carney's caucus. Former Environment Minister Stephen Guilbeault will quit the Liberal Party today, according to government sources, over Carney's reversal of several climate policies.
And we're in your neighborhood. We pay a visit to Gutsy's Bakery in Orleans. Your Morning Ottawa continues right now.
Just after 7 o'clock, welcome. I'm Rosie Edda.
Yeah, happy Wednesday, everybody. I'm Will Yellow.
And I'm Melissa Lamb.
And coming up in just a few minutes, we are talking traffic, 417, particularly the area with all of that construction. We're going to be speaking with Lane Johnson, Ottawa City Councillor, and find out, can we do anything about it?
Yeah.
Can we change that situation, improve it in some way, shape, or form? So if you have to take that part of the roadway, you really don't want to miss that conversation. That's coming up in the next few minutes.
Yeah, looking forward to that. Hopefully, finally, maybe getting some ease with the traffic, especially in that area. We begin with new questions over the timeline and cost of the new civic campus of the Ottawa Hospital. So far, the project consists of a nearly completed parking garage, while the actual hospital remains a hole in the ground. Ottawa South MPP John Fraser says there is no end in sight. He says he's concerned construction could go well into the 2030s and the price tag could skyrocket well beyond the original $3 billion project. Meantime, the Ontario Health Coalition wants more action from the province.
So we have a local share that's going to be approaching $1 billion from about $300 million. $1 billion now. So that's a lot on the residents of Ottawa.
The hospitals are completely overwhelmed. They've got portables outside. They're using garages. Like, at what point do we say it's an emergency? All boots on the ground. Fix the hospital system in Ottawa.
The Ottawa Hospital says the parking garage is expected to open this summer and that it is finalizing the design and construction timeline.
It was a dramatic scene east of downtown yesterday when an OC Transpo bus detached from a tow truck and careened into the side of a busy grocery store at train yards. It happened around 1 o'clock yesterday afternoon at the Farm Boys store on Belfast Road. OC Transpo says the decommissioned bus was being towed to a maintenance facility when it came loose and made contact with the building. OC Transpo, police, fire, and MTO responded to the scene.
The bus was being towed by an OC Transpo towing, and there was something that happened with the disconnection of the vehicle, and currently MTO is working on what could have created that disconnect.
Potential charges that could be laid under the Highway Traffic Act include having an insecure load, but the situation is still under investigation. Former Environment and Climate Change Minister Stephen Guilbeault will quit the Liberal Party caucus today. Sources tell CTV News he is concerned about the Carney government's rollback of climate policies. 4 federal government sources tell CTV News one concern is the most recent iteration of an agreement with Alberta aimed at building a new pipeline. 14 Liberal MPs sent a letter to Carney before the agreement with the Alberta government was signed, expressing unease with the situation. The letter says they are concerned the government's credibility on the environment will be, quote, seriously compromised. We know one of the 2 teams that will be playing for the Cup in the NHL final.
Vegas goes back to the Stanley Cup final. They sweep the president.
The Las Vegas Golden Knights swept the Colorado Avalanche in the Western Conference final. This marks the 3rd time Vegas has been to the Stanley Cup final. They won it all back in 2023. The Golden Knights will face either Montreal or Carolina. The Habs and the Canes face off at the Bell Center in Montreal tonight, 8 p.m.
Heads up if you are flying out of the Ottawa airport today. You are being advised to head to the airport early today and even tomorrow. The city and police are warning of possible traffic disruptions on Hunt Club Road and the Airport Parkway due to the CANSEC Trade Show. That is a major trade show of defense contractors happening at the Cohere Center. The event attracts major protests, and if you're heading to the airport today or tomorrow, the city is encouraging you to use the O Train Line 4.
A very important celebration took place yesterday for one remarkable woman.
I think if you're kind and good to others, it's a great help and it makes you happy.
And we had her on our milestones yesterday.
Yes.
Margaret Hope turned 103, and she says the key to a long life, it's very simple. Be kind always.
The room was packed with her retirement home to celebrate Margaret on her very special day. Oh, Margaret.
She looks fabulous.
Hair is done, got the pearls on.
Yes.
Beautiful dress, looking just gorgeous.
And the best advice you
Absolutely.
could possibly pass along, just be kind.
Yeah.
I love that.
I
Yeah.
love that so much as well. Well, happy birthday to you again. You know, I feel like it should be a month-long celebration when you're
Yes.
103.
Agreed.
You don't even get a day, you don't get a week, you get a month.
Make it a year.
There you go. We do have your weather picture of the day today as well. Wow, look at this. Steve sent this in saying orange makes the perfect sunset in Woodlawn.
Weather picture brought to you by Box Me Up. Moving, staging, renovating, just box me up.
And of course, we love seeing your weather pictures, and you can be featured right here on the show. Send them in to us, weathershots@ctv.ca. Again, that email address is weathershots@ctv.ca. In our forecast today, a little bit above seasonal again this afternoon. Not quite as hot as yesterday, but it also won't be as windy into your day ahead as well. Temperatures this morning already off to a warm start. We're seeing cloudy conditions with some sunshine, sitting at 16 degrees already this hour, 18 in Montreal, 17 for Cornwall. Slightly cooler for Kingston, the Valley, and Trenton, sitting at 13 degrees to start off your morning. We could see some spotty showers late this afternoon into your early evening hours, so there is a chance, just a slim chance of seeing some spotty showers today. For the most part, we will see a beautiful sunny day, especially throughout your early morning hours. We will start to see a little bit cloudier conditions into the afternoon today, but overall, it's looking gorgeous for Wednesday as well as we head into Thursday and Friday. Your wind speeds, much calmer winds today, north winds instead of southwest winds, but only gusting around 20 kilometers an hour, so we don't have to worry about overly strong winds like we did yesterday, where we did see a very, very windy day. A high of 24 this afternoon. We will see lots of sunshine this morning, cloudier into the late part of your afternoon, and then some spotty showers possible into your evening hours. But overall, gorgeous across the region. 24 for Kemptville, as well as in Cornwall, Brockville, and Kingston sitting at 25. Same with in Trenton. Slightly cooler, the Valley sitting at 21 into your daytime high this afternoon. 24 is also the high over in Gatineau. So over the next week, we will see beautiful conditions, a little bit cooler towards the end of the work week. 11 is the overnight low for tonight, 22 for tomorrow. That's very seasonal for this time of the year. Spotty showers possible Thursday and through Saturday. Slightly cooler conditions as we head towards the end of the work week and into through Saturday. A high of only 19 degrees, 20 for Sunday, but the warm weather and sunshine is back next week.
7-day weather forecast brought to you by Davidson Hearing Aid Centers, celebrating over 80 years in family business.
Eastbound on the 417 slowdowns at the 416 split in through Maitland. Westbound on the Queensway also seeing buildup at Saint Laurent through Nicholas. Heading west on the 174 also buildup beginning at 10th line in through Montreal Road. And just that construction note to report, it does continue along the 417 around Greenbank in both directions, so you can expect some delays.
The City of Ottawa is pledging to get Stage 2 LRT work on Highway 417 done 3 weeks ahead of schedule as residents grapple with congestion and traffic delays in the West End.
We need this work to be done. We need things to get back to normal.
Commuters and councillors have been raising concerns about delays on Highway 417 between Woodruff Avenue and Pinecrest Road this spring due to construction. Lane Johnson is the city councillor for College Ward in the West End, and she joins us now. Good morning to you, Lane. Right off the top here, I have to ask you, what are your constituents saying? How are they complaining about all this congestion?
Well, there's no doubt that the communications piece of these impacts was missing. A lot of constituents, including myself, ended up finding out as we were going westbound that there was a lane closure there. For the first couple times I did it, I thought, okay, well, this must be MTO work. But as we progress, we learn more that it is related to Stage 2 LRT, and so residents expect better.
They made some concessions after many weeks of all that congestion. They opened up a bus lane for the on-ramp. Did that make any difference? Did that ease traffic at all?
Yeah, so my office worked quite hard over the last week to try and have some results in a short order, because the closure itself had been slated to go till the end of July, which is a date that you get alarmed by when you hear it out loud. So the bus lane started on Saturday morning, and we were seeing relief. When I met with Stage 2 folks yesterday, they were saying that residents were experiencing a 22% reduction in their travel time, given that lane opening. So that is good. But as we continue to see how traffic evolves, not every day is different, and people may end up making different choices. So it's something that we'll be monitoring.
When your office was told about this construction work that would be done, this is for LRT work, we're going back here. What were your thoughts? Did you raise any alarms? Did you think that it would be this bad?
Well, the work that's happening on the 417, which is the sign reinstatement, definitely has impacts beyond what our office had been briefed on. There are on-ramp, off-ramp works that we had been told about that relate to the train, but this sign piece is something that has really caused, you know, a major snafu in the area. And so after the solutions are in place, we will certainly be doing a debrief to understand how that was authorized, why the choices were made to do it in the way that it was. Any work that you do on the Queensway ultimately is the Ministry of Transportation. They have to sign off and approve on whatever decisions you're making. So this was not a unilateral decision. It would be impossible for the city to take full ownership of this, but ultimately mistakes were made, and my office expects answers.
Lane, when you got calls into your office, I'm assuming you got calls of complaints of incredible congestion on the 417. What did you say to those constituents, and what would you say to them now?
Well, you know, I think our office, you know, I've been taking this opportunity to treat it like a crisis communication. So I've been out in front doing videos online on my socials repeatedly for the last 9 days. Residents are working their way through local neighborhoods to try and avoid the Queensway. I'm nervous about those conflicts. We don't have a lot of sidewalks. We do have a lot of school-aged children.
That cut-through traffic is not great,
That's
right?
right, yes.
So you don't like that. You know,
I don't blame anybody because everybody has commitments they're trying to make, but obviously the streets are not used to this kind of volume. So it is about, you know, taking deep breaths, understanding we're all in this together. We have been able to reduce the timeline by 3 weeks, and there will be accountability at the end of the day. I will make that commitment.
Okay, Lane Johnson, City Councillor for the College Ward. Thank you for coming in, for answering some of those questions, and no doubt you're going to get a lot more calls until this is all done, hopefully by the beginning of July, right? That's what we're hoping.
People are enjoying their caps lock. Yes.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much again, Lane. Thank you. Let's take
Your neighborhood brought to you in part by the Clemo. Choose the Clemo and start living your life your way.
For your neighborhood, this week we are headed to the wonderful neighborhood of Orleans. We are at Gutsy's, where every single thing that you see here in this store is gluten-free, and it's for a good reason. Let's go find Natasha to get all the details. Okay, so I found Natasha. It wasn't hard. She was just peeking around the corner. I love the idea of this store because even for myself and my co-host Melissa, you know, we're gluten-free. Tell me a little bit about the story about why you created the store.
Okay, well, our daughter, Maya, was diagnosed with celiac disease when she was 12. And we, like everybody else that has that disease, had to go to 6, 8 different places to get what we needed to bake, to cook. And there were bakeries, but they were all in the West End. And there was nothing in the East End for the population of the East End. So the idea came to mind to maybe not have just a bakery, because with the amount of people who have celiac disease or Crohn's or Hashimoto's, IBS, like a lot of people eat gluten-free, not just celiacs, it would be nice to have a place where everything is gluten-free, not just a bakery, but all the grocery items also. So you don't have to scavenger hunt in the grocery store. So that kind of started working in our minds, thinking, okay, with the amount of people who eat gluten-free, this has to be something that has to be done. And we just couldn't find it anywhere. And we kind of decided we'd create it. We kind of created what we wish we'd had when our daughter was diagnosed.
Yeah, I love that. And you know what? And you make such a good point where that's in the West End, but in the East End here, now finally there's a spot for people that want to have those gluten-free options. How has the community response been, at least in this neighborhood, since you've opened up?
It's been fantastic. It really has. People come up to us and express all the time how happy they are that we're here. Not just for the bakery part, but for the grocery part also. I think just the fact that we focus on gluten-free allows us to bring more things that you'd find at the grocery store. Everybody can find penne and spaghetti at the grocery store, but to find little stars to put in your soup, to find different shapes of pasta, that's kind of nice, and some really good ones that don't break. It's all little perks, having a variety of flours to choose from, not just one. Finding your sauces, prepared meals, from donuts to, I mean, even chips and pretzels. It's just kind of nice to walk in and just take your pick. And people who can't have gluten in Orleans have been really grateful for this place.
Well, you walk in and you said it early. You just have peace of mind that you don't need to look at the labels. Everything in here is gluten-free. And even for you, when you see that, living through it with your family, yourself, and now eating gluten-free, how great is it that when people come in, they go, you know what? We love that you're in here. And now it's kind of caught on a little bit, and more people are starting to go down the gluten-free journey that don't even have to eat gluten-free.
We do have clients who can have gluten. There's some people brought some stuff over at a gathering, and they really liked it. So they come here and they just get our things. Our carrot cake is to die for. It has its own fan base, believe me, along with our raspberry muffins. These two things are our best sellers, and people just love it. And I'd say we have quite a few people who come in here because we're a bakery and we're in Orleans. They don't care that it's gluten-free. But the people that are really grateful are the gluten-free people.
Okay, so clearly you've already gotten the 2 desserts that I need to pick up before I leave today. What are some of your other favorites? If you had to pick your top, let's say 2, and it can be from the bakery or it can be from the store, what are your 2 top faves that you love here?
I'd say our lasagna is the first. We offer it dairy-free and we offer it regular. So we use dairy-free cheese. That's one that's really popular. It's really rich and tasty. And I'd say probably the raspberry muffin is my favorite.
We're coming back to the raspberry muffin.
That's a recipe I've made for a long time, and people loved it way back then, so we knew we had to have it here.
Oh, it's so amazing. I mean, the variety that you have here, from breads to snacks to pastas to sauces to fun drinks. It's just amazing that this is located right here in Orleans. Congratulations on all the success. And again, keep those raspberry muffins going.
Thanks.
And they'll need to keep the raspberry muffins going because we cleaned house between our photographer, Mike, and I, who had those raspberry muffins, and they were so good. I had the animal gluten-free pasta last night.
Oh, nice.
And put some sauce on it. I did some damage while I was there, but you know, for someone that eats gluten-free as well, to have that one-stop shop in Orleans, it's so great.
And it's true, like she mentioned, even people who don't have to eat gluten-free go there because the bakery itself is just so good. At Christmas time, I went and brought a bunch of treats, and we had them at our house, and everybody was eating them. My family, my parents, and they were like, these are so good. And I'm like, they're all gluten-free. So it's nice that you can have yummy tasting items, you know, that are gluten-free, and the carrot cake is to die for. I've had it many times.
It's a beautiful store.
It is.
I mean, I want to just go look around.
And even specialty items like Worcestershire sauce, you know, you can get it there that's gluten-free because normal ones have gluten in it, and it's hard to find. So little specialty items, they always usually have it, which is great.
I got to go back because I didn't try the carrot cake, so we can go. And then it's in Melissa's hood, so we can all meet together. You also have a Canada location, too, if you're in that end. And if you know of a great local business that we should highlight, especially like Gutsy's there, Rosie, Melissa, myself, are out into the town, send us an email at yourmorningottawa@ctv.ca. Our next neighborhood we're going to be doing next month is Little Italy. So let us know some thoughts or some gems in that area, and we'll be sure to go and check them out.
Your neighborhood, brought to you in part by the Clemo. Choose the Clemo and start living your life your way.
All right, coming up, Rise Academy is hosting a pickleball tournament to help support its Impact Now program. We'll tell you about the great event and how it supports youth in our community. Outside through our continual glass skycam, a great day for pickleball. Temperatures nice and cozy, the sun is shining, and you can't blame your terrible shots on the wind because guess what? They've calmed down. Stay with us, 7:20 on your Wednesday. We'll be right back.
It's 7:23. Wake up and win with CTV, your morning and beancars.ca. We can pay your bills with a massive $20,000. Oh, imagine what you can do with an extra 20 grand. The possibilities are endless. Today's code word is riches. Head to the contest page at ctvottawa.ca or scan the QR code you see right there on your screen. Enter riches with your info for your chance to win. The Your Morning $20,000 Pay Your Bills contest, brought to you by beancars.ca, Carlton Place. Will.
All right, I've got two guests joining me. We got Kyla and Rebecca talking about a wonderful pickleball tournament, all in support of Rise Academy. And we had a good rally going on here. 3, 2, 1, and got it. Good morning to the two of you.
Good morning.
Rebecca, just a reminder for some of our viewers that aren't familiar, tell me a little bit about what Rise Academy is all about.
We're an alternative high school. Ultimately, students get the opportunity to do things outside of the regular school day. So think about back in the day, if you ever went to night school or summer school, we're kind of like that, but we're doing it very differently.
And when you think about events like this, how great is it to have something like a pickleball tournament to help raise funds for what you're trying to accomplish?
Well, I don't know about you, but I've kind of jumped on the pickleball bandwagon. It seems to be a huge thing. It's tons of fun. And I think it's just a great opportunity for people to come together and learn about what we do, but have some fun while doing it.
It's such a great way to do that, right? Because it's for a wonderful cause. And like you say, pickleball has just taken over, not just here in Ottawa, but really over the world. Kyla, Royal LePage is such a great sponsor of this event. Why do you find it important to support such a great organization like Rise Academy?
I love everything that Rise Academy does. It offers sort of an alternative to learning. Real estate has been my second career, so my previous career was in the education system. So having this sort of alternative way of learning, there's a lot of give back in the community and great involvement. So it's a great event to come out to and have fun and play.
Do you've got the fire for the pickleball sport as well in you? Do you love it too?
I try hard.
There it is.
I love it, but fire.
It is really fun, right? It's
Yeah.
such a great way to do it. So tell me a little bit about the pickleball tournament, how people can sign up and when it's happening.
Yeah, so it's happening June 27th at the Forge. You can sign up through our website, so riseacademy.ca, and look for Rally for Rise on the website. It's going to be a very recreational, fun tournament, so everybody that you don't have to have played before, it's literally just for fun. 10 till 2, we're going to have a lot of our students there showcasing the stuff that they do in their entrepreneurship program. Opportunity to win a car. Hunt Club Honda has donated a car. So very, very exciting. But we also have a contest right now. So Kyla and Royal LePage has offered to cover the cost of one pair. If you enter before May 31st, you'll be entered into that draw.
Oh, that's so great. And I know that the funds for this tournament go to such a great cause. I love that your team is supporting this and we're having some fun. What do you say we rally
Yes.
on? We're bringing in one of our friends, Mike. So we're going to go a little 2-on-2. Mike, no, you started off.
There you go.
You started off, buddy. Here we go. And we're off.
Oh, geez.
Come on, Mike, go get it. This is Mike's workout for the day.
I know, Mike's been excited since we got here about pickleball.
For good reason. All right, friends, thank you for joining me today. A reminder, June 27th, bounce, Lazy Boy Lounge, out, up, and over. Stay with us, friends.
Oh, make it work at the end.
Good morning to you, 7:30. It's going to be a beautiful day. Come on in. I'm Rosie, and
it certainly is. I'm Will Yellow.
And I'm Melissa Lamb, and our Yard Week continues today, and we are talking to Dr. Paul about yard safety, because obviously so many things that can go wrong, so we're going to kind of talk to him about certain things you should be on the lookout for, even things like plant bulbs. So we're going to have that conversation in a few minutes.
And it's important to have that reminder this time of year, right?
Yeah.
Because a year goes by and just having that quick little few tips can really make a big difference. All right, that coming up right after our news headlines and our weather forecast. task. We begin with new questions over the timeline and the cost of the new civic campus of the Ottawa Hospital. So far, the project consists of a nearly completed parking garage, while the actual hospital remains a hole in the ground. Ottawa South MPP John Fraser says there is no end in sight, and he says that he's concerned construction could go well into the 2030s and the price tag could skyrocket well beyond the original $3 billion budget. Meantime, the Ontario Health Coalition wants more action from the province.
So we have a local share that's going to be approaching $1 billion from about 300 million. $1 billion now. So that's a lot on the residents of Ottawa.
The hospitals are completely overwhelmed. They've got portables outside. They're using garages. Like, at what point do we say it's an emergency? All boots on the ground. Fix the hospital system in Ottawa.
The Ottawa Hospital says the parking garage is expected to open this summer and that it is finalizing the design and construction timeline.
It was a dramatic scene east of downtown yesterday when an OC Transpo bus detached from a tow truck and careened into the side of a busy grocery store at train yards. It happened around 1 o'clock yesterday afternoon at the Farm Boy store on Belfast Road. OC Transpo says the decommissioned bus was being towed to a maintenance facility when it came loose and made contact with the building. OC Transpo, police, fire, and MTO responded to the scene.
The bus was being towed by an OC Transpo towing, and there was something that happened with the disconnection of the vehicle, and currently MTO is working on what could have created that disconnect.
Potential charges that could be laid under the Highway Traffic Act include having an insecure load, but the situation is still under investigation.
An Ottawa charity supporting kids and young adults with autism is sounding the alarm just weeks away from hosting its popular summer camp. Children at Risk says its funding through the federal government summer jobs grant is being cut, putting Camp Kaleidoscope at risk. So Camp Kaleidoscope relies on the Canada Summer Jobs program to hire counselors. But for the second straight year, that stream of funding is being cut dramatically. The federal government is shifting its focus for the Canada Summer Jobs program to support young workers in other sectors like trades and environmental protection. The charity that runs the camp applied for funding for 67 jobs. They were only approved for 10. Organizers say that makes operations difficult because the camp offers a 1-to-1 counselor to camper ratio to accommodate the complex needs of children with autism.
On April 14th, we received a decision from Canada Summer Jobs that we had a 50% cut in the number of jobs from last year, which was a 75% cut from the year before. Disabilities just don't seem to be top of mind today for the support out there through the government, and we want to know why.
Parents say that there is a real lack of support and programs available for Ottawa kids and youth with autism. Camp Kaleidoscope is set to run from July 6th until August 7th.
Dozens of firefighters responded to a barn fire in the Dwyer Hill area Tuesday. This happened on Franktown Road near Dwyer Hill Road around 1 p.m. No animals or people were injured. Officials say high westerly winds fanned the flames as they tore through the heritage structure. It was engulfed in 30 minutes.
When you have a wind-driven fire, you have to be very aware of your surroundings. The fire conditions can change very quickly based on the gusts of wind, and you just have to combat it. That you're obviously in a position that if you have to evacuate or you have to move out of the way, you do so safely.
There is no estimate on the damage. The cause of the fire remains under investigation. Former Environment and Climate Change Minister Stephen Guilbeault will quit the Liberal Party caucus today. Sources tell CTV News he is concerned about the Carney government's rollback of climate policies. 4 federal government sources tell CTV News one concern is the most recent iteration of an agreement with Alberta aimed at building a new pipeline. 14 Liberal MPs sent a letter to Carney before the agreement with the Alberta government was signed, expressing unease with the situation. The letter says they are concerned the government's credibility on the environment will be, quote, seriously compromised. We know of one of the 2 teams that will be playing for the Cup in the NHL Finals.
Vegas goes back to the Stanley Cup Final. They sweep the President's Trophy winning Avalanche.
The Las Vegas Golden Knights swept the Colorado Avalanche in the Western Conference Final. This marks the third time Vegas has been to the Stanley Cup Final. They won it all back in 2023. The Golden Knights will face either Montreal or Carolina. The Habs and Canes face off at the Bell Center in Montreal tonight at 8 p.m.
Heads up, if you're flying out of Ottawa today, you are being advised to head to the airport early today and even tomorrow. The city and police are warning of possible traffic disruptions on Hunt Club Road and the Airport Parkway due to the CANSEC trade show. That is a major trade show happening for defense contractors happening at the Cohere Center. The event attracts major protests, so if you're heading to the airport either today or tomorrow, the city encourages you to use O-Train Line 4.
The lineup has been unveiled for Festival Parasol at Gatineau's Casino de Lac Lémy.
The opening night includes Phil Lauzon and Tanea Taylor. You may recognize Tanea's name as our Bell Media Weekender and radio host on Pure Country 94.
Some other performers, Queenie, Mike Clay, and Goodfella, among others. Festival Parasol runs from July 16th to the 26th, just a little over a month away.
Yeah.
Summer's around the corner, friends.
And like that's the middle of summer. I find like that month of July is just like prime summer. So perfect timing. So much fun.
Agreed. And you know what? It's kind of felt like it too, because as soon as you get even like above 20 degrees, you start getting that summer itch. But we've had some at least above seasonal temperatures over the last little while.
When you get 20 degrees in May, you're like, ooh. When you get 20 degrees come, you know, August, you're like, oh no.
Yeah, what's this?
What is happening? Fall is coming.
We look to you.
Well, today we will see sunshine this morning into your afternoon. Another warm day in the forecast for us, and it will be a relatively warm week, a couple of days below seasonal, but still lots of sunshine to be enjoyed. Still sitting at 16 degrees here for us in the city this hour. It's 14 in the valley, same within Kingston, 17 currently in Brockville. Nice and sunny to start off your morning, so we will see sunshine throughout the day ahead. A slim chance that some areas could see a few spotty showers. That's late this evening. We could see some spotty showers into your overnight, and then we could see more of that on the way as we head into Thursday and Friday as well. In our wind speeds, much calmer winds today than we have seen over the last few days. We will see some north winds today, gusting around 20 kilometers an hour, so not nearly as windy this afternoon as it was yesterday. It will be nice and calm as well overnight and through the late part of your day. Recess forecast for kids today, another beautiful one to get outside. We will see a mix of sun and cloud throughout most of the day today with lots of sunshine. So sunnier skies throughout the early afternoon. We'll start to see a few clouds rolling through afternoon hour today, but temperature is really warm, sitting in the 20s with a high of 24 late this afternoon. We'll feel closer to 25, so not a lot of humidity in the forecast for us. 24 for Kemptville, Cornwall, 21 in the valley today, so slightly cooler in the valley as well as in Bancroft. Petawawa also sitting at 21, 24 over in Gatineau. So over the next 5 days, we will see a mixture of everything. 11 is the overnight low, 22 for tomorrow, mix of sun and cloud throughout most of the day. Chance of some spotty showers into the afternoon on Thursday, same with on Friday, Saturday. A little bit cooler Saturday in through Sunday.
Liking the forecast, Missy. All right, on your roads this hour. Eastbound on the 417 slowing down at Moody until Maitland. Westbound on the Queensway seeing some build up at Parkdale until Bayshore, as well as St. Laurent until Nicholas. Heading west on the 174, seeing build up beginning at 10th line until Montreal Road. Construction continues along the 417 around Greenbank in both directions, so expect some delays throughout your drive. And a reminder, there are traffic disruptions on Hunt Club Road and the Airport Parkway due to the CANSEC trade show at the Cohere Center. So be sure to give yourself some extra time if you're heading in that area or to the airport today.
Traffic brought to you by Presler Injury Lawyers. 1-800-JUSTICE.
Ottawa, get ready to ignite your senses. We're bringing you the chance to win your way to the sensational Ottawa Jazz Festival. 10 days of live music in downtown Ottawa, June 18th to the 28th. This week, you could win day passes to catch the phenomenal Jeff Goldblum and an incredible day of jazz music on Saturday, June 20th. And the ultimate grand prize, you ask? A pair of full festival passes, unlocking an entire weekend of pure world-class music. Head to ctvottawa.ca right now and enter for your shot at the ultimate Ottawa Jazz Festival experience.
Backyard Week, and there are a lot of things to consider, including safety for you and your family. For that reason, we are paging Dr. Paul this morning to get some tips on backyard safety. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Okay, lots of things to think about,
Sure.
and we are going to start with sheds and garden tool safety.
Yeah. First of all, the shed, we know, should be locked at all times. But what happens when you're opening up your backyard, right? So you kind of forget about things, and kids can get into it while you're doing your work. And so you've got a lot of scissors, hose, all kinds of things that are dangerous to kids. Maybe you have, gasoline for your lawnmower, those type of things. Those things are quite dangerous. So it's quite important for you to, of course, all the time we know it's locked, but when it's unlocked and you're working, either when you're opening up the garden or you're doing something, make sure that, again, it's locked and kids are away from that.
Okay, good tips to keep in mind. Let's talk about planting safety in terms of bulbs and other tools.
Yeah, and again, people think about, yes, we're going to put the seeds, we're going to put the bulbs. Kids have actually bitten and choked on bulbs. Again, I think the bottom line is that whatever you do in the backyard, be mindful if you have young children to ensure that either they're inside or somebody's watching them. Because again, you can turn around, you're doing this, and all of a sudden the child gets into a bulb, fertilizer. All these things are, could be potentially toxic or choking hazards to children. So it's quite important when you're doing those things in the garden. It's really, again, and I'm telling you this from experience, we've seen all these things, like, children coming in, having chewed a bulb, having eaten fertilizer, all these things. That can be avoided just by being, being aware that, yes, you're very careful, you're watching your kids, but it takes a split second. You're turning around, putting a bulb in, and all of a sudden the child gets into trouble.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about one that I'm always super mindful of, lawnmower safety.
Yeah. In the United States, over 9,000 lawnmower-related injuries in kids every year. And so, probably a tenth of that in Canada, but, it's a lot, right?
Yeah.
And that's because, the lawnmower propels things. And it's quite dangerous. So basically what we're saying is that if you have young kids, even pets or others, when you're mowing the lawn, obviously they shouldn't be inside or be far away. The other thing is where again, eye protection, very important, because these, they can launch all kinds of little nails or whatever, rocks, and cause eye injury. So quite important. Also to know that children less than 12 years of age should not operate the lawnmowers. And for the ride-ons, you got to be 16 and over, because again, we see that a lot in our area. So it's just important to be mindful of those things.
And I think kids are always fascinated with the lawnmower because they want to push it, they want to play with it.
Exactly.
Sometimes you have lawnmower toys, so then they don't really see the difference.
It mimics it, right? So it's not a toy. Again, and it can be potentially dangerous. So just be careful, particularly when you got young children.
Okay, and last but not least, barbecues.
Yeah, barbecue. So again, obviously we talk about food safety and being careful with the food, but there's also burn threats here. The young children don't know the difference. The barbecue looks the same when it's hot, when it's not, right? So a little child can either avoid playing around the barbecue, obviously, and avoid having children unattended around a barbecue. And again, when you're kind of cooking yourself, all of a sudden the child comes up, be quite careful, somebody minding that child, because again, you can get a lot of injuries, again, burn injuries. Children have bumped into these things, put their hand on the grill. I mean, we've seen all of these things. And again, avoidable. We want to have fun in the garden, in the backyard, and the more safe we are, the more fun we're going to have.
What about barbecue safety in terms of, cooking in a safe area as opposed to in the garage? Is that a no-no?
Oh, yes, of course. Having your barbecue outside and having it, again, there are regulations in terms of don't have it really against bushes or against the wall of your house or, those type of things. So that's a good question. So, of course, don't barbecue in the garage, no indoor, because all the toxins are quite dangerous. And also be aware where you are. So if you've got a bush right beside you, please, you need at least a couple of feet of give between that and any flammable walls or any flammable things. So it's quite important to be mindful of that.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much, Dr. Paul, for joining us here today.
My pleasure.
You're welcome. Rosie.
Coming up on CTV Your Morning Ottawa, we give you some insights into dating from a matchmaker. Our guest is standing by in the Your Morning Ottawa Lazy Boy Lounge. We're going to be talking about dating with intention. We'll unpack that a little bit later. Here's a live look through our Centennial Glass Skycam. Beautiful looking start to your day. 7:45, we'll be right back. With the new age of dating online and using apps, a matchmaker can offer a more personalized approach. Today, we talk to an expert about dating with intention. We got to welcome Linda Miller. Oh, Linda, got to get right into it. Welcome here. Unpack that, dating with intention. What do you mean by that?
So I think for me, that means being present when you're dating someone, really giving them 100% of your attention. So sometimes I get a little feedback all the time. So I'll get someone come in and they say, well, you know, he sat down and I've meanwhile gone out and got myself all fixed up for this date, and he sits down, he plunks the phone down on the table. And I understand, our whole life is on our phones.
Yes.
But when you do that, what you're saying to the person you're with is, you're not as important as this device I've got over here.
Right here.
And even though you say you don't look at it, every time it flashes or beeps, you're turning over and looking at it. So leave that in your purse, leave it at home, spend some time with someone, give them your full attention, and realize when you're working with a matchmaker, we've already screened for you. So you don't need to sit down with someone and give them an interview. We've already chosen all those things that you're looking for. So just be intentional.
Be intentional. That's the main advice that you give people who come to you. What else do you offer up here for successful dating?
So we look at, you know, what about compatibility? It's so important.
Of course.
So when I match two people together, I'm not going to match somebody who's really sedentary with somebody who's out every day playing pickleball and skiing all day.
That does
I
not
want to
work.
meet people want to meet someone who will fit in with their lifestyle. And we look at all of those things, all of those aspects. So socioeconomic is really important. Education can be really important.
That's true.
So we look at all those things and we're doing the work for you. So instead of you spending hours at night scrolling on your phone or on your computer looking for someone who may or may not work with your lifestyle, we've already done that. So once a week you just call in and it's either a yay or nay based on the photos we show you and the profile we present, and then you go out on your date.
Okay, so Linda, you are a matchmaker and you're with Misty River Introductions. So do you get a lot of inquiries first, like people who are a little bit hesitant to jump on board and they just want to figure out what it's all about?
Yeah, so you can go on our website, mistyriverintro's.com, and you can book a free consultation.
Okay.
So you don't have to lock into, oh, I've got to join if I've called them,
you
or
go.
I've got to join if I've booked an interview. You have an opportunity to spend some time with us, go through a profile, make sure, first of all, that we have what you're looking for, because oftentimes people will come to us. We probably get 30 or 40 leads a day, and of those 30 or 40 leads, only 10 of them are really suitable. They're really ready to be in a relationship, and they've really given it a lot of thought, and they're at that stage, they're ready.
They are ready to date with intention.
Right.
There you go. All right, Linda, I know that this kind of curves over here. Life stage considerations.
So very important. So if I get someone 25 or 30 and they want to start a family, you want to match them with somebody who's going through that for the first time as well. So not somebody with a couple of kids. You want to match them with somebody who's also going to be as excited to have a family and meet somebody and spend the rest of their life together. Same with someone who's retired. So if you're retired and you meet someone who is still has another 10 years to work, that's really frustrating because you're spending every day waiting for them to get done at 5 o'clock, get showered, get changed, and then your day sort of starts. Although people have other interests, but at the same time, it's more difficult.
Final board for us here. Reciprocal communication.
So one of the great things about working with a matchmaker. So I go through the people you've met and what they've said. So we also, part of what we do is coaching. Very, very important. So people will go on 3 or 4 dates and then they'll say, I'd like to book a coaching session. It's not going in the direction I want it to go, or why aren't people liking me as much as I like them? So I call through and I find out what the feedback is, and I'm able to say, well, maybe you're monologuing a little bit. Maybe it's a function of being nervous. So maybe just slow down, make a note of what their interests and passions are all about, so you can ask them about themselves.
Linda, how can people get in touch with you?
So you can call us at 1-877-334-9041, or you can go on our website at mistyriverintro's.com, book a free consultation at a time that suits you.
Linda, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Melissa.
Coming up on Your Morning Ottawa, keeping your lawn healthy and fresh this summer, we hear from the pros at Ritchie Feed and Seed later on this morning. Here are your milestones for this Wednesday, May 27th. And we're going to start off with wishing a happy birthday to Mila. This is a very happy 7th birthday today. Lots of love from Grandpa and Grammy. We also have a happy 10th birthday. This is going out to Ada. This is with love from your mom and dad and brother and Daisy. I wonder if that's Daisy in the photo with you. And if you have a milestone celebrated with us, please send your birthday announcements for kids turning 13 years old and younger, and for those turning 100 years or more. Wedding anniversaries as well. For those celebrating 50 years or more, all you have to do is send us an email at ottawa.milestones@ctv.ca. We'll be sure to get your announcement on the air.
It's Wednesday, May 27th. There are new questions over the budget and construction timeline of Ottawa's new Civic Hospital campus.
A high-profile departure from Prime Minister Mark Carney's caucus. Former Environment Minister Stephen Guilbeault will quit the Liberal Party today, according to government sources, over Carney's reversal of several climate policies.
Vegas goes back to the Stanley Cup Final.
And the Las Vegas Golden Knights punched their ticket to the Stanley Cup Finals as the Habs continue their run for the Eastern Conference title tonight. Your Morning Ottawa continues right now.
Good morning, just after 8 o'clock. It's going to be a great day. Come on in. I'm Rosie Edna.
I'm Will Aiello.
And I'm Melissa Lamb. And coming up on the show, of course, June is always a busy month with graduations and parties and celebrations. So we're going to show you how you can entertain on a budget, but make it look expensive coming up in a few minutes.
That sounded like all the perfect things that we want this time.
Exactly. Like, I want to make it look chic, but I don't want to spend a lot of money.
That's
how do
right.
I do it? We have some tips for you coming up.
Love that. Can't wait for that. We begin with some new questions over the timeline and cost of the new Civic campus for the Ottawa Hospital. So far, the project consists of a nearly completed parking garage, while the actual hospital remains a hole in the ground. Ottawa South MPP John Fraser says there is still no end in sight, and he says he's concerned construction could go well into the 2030s and the price tag could skyrocket well beyond the original $3 billion budget. Meantime, the Ontario Health Coalition wants more action from the province.
So we have a local share that's going to be approaching $1 billion from about $300 million. $1 billion now. So that's a lot on the residents of Ottawa.
The hospitals are completely overwhelmed. They've got portables outside. They're using garages. Like, at what point do we say it's an emergency? All boots on the ground. Fix the hospital system in Ottawa.
The Ottawa Hospital says the parking garage is expected to open this summer and that it is finalizing the design and construction timeline.
It was a dramatic scene east of downtown yesterday when an OC Transpo bus detached from a tow truck and careened into the side of a busy grocery store at train yards. It happened around 1 o'clock yesterday afternoon at the Farm Boy store on Belfast Road. OC Transpo says the decommissioned bus was being towed to a maintenance facility when it came loose and made contact with the building. OC Transpo, police, fire, and MTO responded to the scene.
The bus was being towed by OC Transpo towing, and there was something that happened with the disconnection of the vehicle, and currently MTO is working on what could have created that disconnect.
Potential charges that could be laid under the Highway Traffic Act include having an insecure load, but the situation is still under investigation.
An Ottawa charity supporting kids and young adults with autism is sounding the alarm just weeks away from hosting its popular summer camp. Children at Risk says its funding through the federal government's summer jobs grant is being cut, putting Camp Kaleidoscope at risk. Camp Kaleidoscope relies on the Canada Summer Jobs Program to hire counselors, but for a second straight year, that stream of funding is being cut dramatically. The federal government is shifting its focus for the Canada Summer Jobs Program to support young workers in other sectors like trades and environmental protection. The charity that runs the camp applied for funding for 67 jobs. They were approved for just 10. Organizers say that makes operations difficult because the camp offers a 1-to-1 counselor to camper ratio to accommodate the complex needs of children with autism.
On April 14th, we received the decision from Canada Summer Jobs that we had a 50% cut in the number of jobs from last year, which was a 75% cut from the year before. Disabilities just don't seem to be top of mind today for the support out there through the government, and we want to know why.
Parents say there is a real lack of support and programs available for Ottawa kids and youth with autism. Camp Kaleidoscope is set to run from July 6th until August 7th.
Former Environment and Climate Change Minister Stephen Guilbeault will quit the Liberal Party caucus today. Sources tell CTV News he is concerned about the Carney government's rollback of climate policies. Four government sources tell CTV News one concern is the most recent iteration of an agreement with Alberta aimed at building a new pipeline. 14 Liberal MPs sent a letter to Carney before the agreement with the Alberta government was signed, expressing unease with the situation. The letter says they are concerned the government's credibility on the environment will be, quote, seriously compromised. We now know one of the two teams that will be playing for the Cup in the NHL final.
Vegas goes back to the Stanley Cup final.
The Las Vegas Golden Knights swept the Colorado Avalanche in the Western Conference final. This marks the third time Vegas has been to the Stanley Cup final. They won it all back in 2023. The Golden Knights will face either Montreal or the Hurricanes. The Habs and Canes face off at the Bell Center in Montreal tonight at 8 p.m.
And as the Habs prepare for Game 4, they're getting support from a Gatineau bakery.
Maison Auto on St. Raymond Boulevard is branding some of its breads with the Montreal Canadiens logo.
It's their way of cheering on the team on their quest for the Stanley Cup, and the loaves have been selling out daily. I am not surprised with that.
No, not at all. You can probably keep those going for a while even after this, and they'll still do really well.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, well, we hope we hear the Ole Ole chants tonight, too. Big win, hopefully, for the Montreal Canadiens.
That Bell Center, I mean, if you've ever been there, you know exactly what I'm about to talk about. Just the fan base there is next level and super hostile if you are the enemy territory going in, so that place will be bumping tonight.
I can imagine during playoffs as well, if you are the opposing team fans and you're going to show up there, be prepared for some chants your way.
Yeah, and they have a great entrance, too, with the flame lighting, if you've seen it. Oh, it's so awesome. We can talk about this for a long time.
Even just the vibe outside, right? It's jam-packed with fans, and I'm sure there'll be lots of Canadian jerseys, even in our city, because there's lots of Habs fans here in Ottawa. Our forecast today, T-shirt weather for us, 24 degrees is the high into the afternoon. The sun setting tonight, 8:38 p.m. Right now, temperatures warming up a little bit, sitting at 17 degrees. It's nice and sunny out there this morning for us here in the city. Same within Montreal, sitting at 17 degrees, nice and warm and sunny in Montreal throughout your afternoon as well. We could see some spotty showers later on this afternoon into your early evening. Spotty showers possible. And then we could see that Thursday and through Friday and Saturday as well. However, for the most part, we're going to see nice, dry, clear days with lots of sunshine, including today. 24 degrees is the high into your afternoon. Same within Cornwall, Brockville. We'll feel closer to 25 with that humidity. So not a lot of heat and humidity in the forecast for today, unlike yesterday where we definitely saw that humidity in the forecast. 21 out in the valley, 24 in Gatineau. Over in Montreal, Habs fans, a high of 24 as well into your afternoon. Overnight lows tonight dropping down to 11 degrees. 22 for tomorrow, mix of sun and cloud. We could see some spotty showers continuing into Friday, Saturday, and then some cooler temperatures Friday and through Sunday. Highs of only 19 as we head into Saturday. As we head into next week, more sunshine on the way and much warmer weather. Eastbound on the 417, slowdowns Moody in through Maitland. Westbound on the Queensway, also seeing some volume this morning between Parkdale and Bayshore, as well as Walkley and through Nicholas. Heading west on the 174, we're seeing buildup beginning at 10th Line Road in through Montreal Road, and the Champlain and McDonald Cartier bridges are moving slowly. All of those are moving well this hour. Construction continues along the 417 around Greenbank in both directions, so expect delays throughout your drive. And we also have traffic disruptions on Hunt Club Road and the Airport Parkway due to the CanSac Trade Show at the Cohere Center. If you are heading to the airport today or tomorrow, the city is encouraging you to use O-Train Line 4. William.
All right, throughout the spring and summer months, if you want to feel bougie, but you don't want to have the cost associated with that, we're going to get some great tips about how you can look fancy without having to spend all that moolah. Oh, that's two. That's two. And, oh yeah, baby. Now we're talking. Full details on that coming up. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
summer celebration season has arrived, and while we love all the graduations, wedding, and backyard barbecues, the cost of hosting can add up quickly. But creating memorable celebrations doesn't have to break the bank. Julia Grieve is here today with affordable, entertaining ideas that still look expensive. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
I love this idea because it's true. Hosting can be so costly.
It is so crazy. We are now in Junado, right? Where everything, well, not quite, but we're almost there.
Yes.
And you blank, and if you're hosting, all the stuff can add up. So I've got 3 key things that you can incorporate that will keep the bougie vibe, but keep the cost down.
I love that so much. Okay, let's start with right here, and we're making a little celebration space.
This is the key. You want to make your space feel a little bit celebratory,
I
right?
love that.
And how do we do this on a budget? Well, I'll tell you right out of the get-go, it's not the big things, it's the little things, the little details, like the hydration station.
Right?
Right? How expensive does this look?
I was going to say, just by adding a couple things, it makes it look so much more bougie.
It's so great. It's just water and fruit, and you bring there. Now, the other really great thing, Melissa, is a trend you see in all kinds of design magazines, bringing the indoors outdoors. So bringing things like, you know, your stainless steel cutlery, bringing that outside. The tablecloth, right? The cloth tablecloth.
Right.
Cloth napkins. You know, all of this, not expensive. I got all of it at HomeSense, which we adore. And we know that they've got all those finishing details on a budget, including cornhole.
Oh, I love
it. So this is the other thing. If you set it up, they will play.
Bring some
Honestly,
games.
setting up something like that in your backyard takes it from a Tuesday to a Tuesday party.
Oh, I love that idea so much. Okay, now that we have the little celebratory space, let's talk about what we need to do for our out-of-town guests.
So we do not need to change our hotel, you know, our house into a hotel just because you have someone sleeping over, all right? So, you know, just the little details again. Maybe add a basket with the towels on the bed. They don't need to be new towels.
No.
Clean towels are key.
Clean but not new.
You know, just making your guests feel special. The sleep mask, maybe the earplugs, that kind of stuff. I love this. This is from Notice, which is a Canadian company. They are shampoo bars and conditioner bars. A little different. Now, I got them at well.ca on their green and natural page, which is so important, especially if you're having overnight guests up north. You really want to get as many natural things. But this just feels special, doesn't it? It's not your regular shampoo. You're like, oh, where am I? I must be on a vacation. I thought I was staying at Aunt Janet's house, but now I feel like I'm on holiday.
And even things like chargers, like these simple little things.
Just putting them in the room makes your guests feel that something special is happening.
Flowers.
It's not expensive. Not expensive at all.
I love it. Let's talk about the host look. What do we wear?
Okay, so Melissa, this is the silent killer that nobody talks about, right? The fashion. Right? You have all these events, you're going to events, you're hosting events, you want to buy something new for every event. Well, I'm going to tell you, you can't, and you're going to do at least what I call the 3-wear minimum rule.
I love
And if you're in my family, it's actually 5.
Okay.
But something like the dress I have today, adore it. I picked it up at Marshall's. Linen blend, great quality, great price. Versatile. Excellent outfit today. Maybe I'm going to, you know, end of year picnic. Oh no, give me a minute. Let me add a little scarf here. Let me add the clutch. Now I'm going to my niece's wedding. Oh,
I love
One more time, Melissa.
One more
I could
time.
do this all day long.
Let's do another outfit.
Just pick up my little beach bag, my sunnies, throw over a sweater, and all of a sudden, I'm barbecue ready.
I love it.
Anybody can buy a dress for every event and wear it. There's no art in that. The art is buying a dress, wearing it again and again and again and again. That is fashion.
Okay, I love that idea so much, and it's true. You can make it look completely different.
That's the whole trick.
Just by adding a few little accessories.
And accessories that you could maybe thrift, or accessories that you've already got. You know, it's just investing in that quality, fun piece for the season, but going, how many times can I wear it?
All right, well, we're going to play a little game because we have some extra time, and Will's already started.
Okay, I'm a little nervous, Will. You're actually like a silent, amazing cornhole player. I'm just saying.
It's because, you know, I spent so many weekends at Aunt Janet's.
So we
play all the time.
This is what I'm saying, right? When you put this in your backyard, all of a sudden it's fun. And I'm always like, I'm not going to play. Sure enough, glass of wine in hand, all of a sudden, I'm like the best.
Our staff have been playing behind the scenes for the last little bit here. So.
Because I need help because Melissa beats me in everything. So I need you. And you know what?
I actually saw.
You're honors.
Okay. Oh, nice.
You hear that? That window's opening. I can hear it.
All right. And maybe it's better with a glass of wine. Not gonna lie.
Okay, I'm over for you. Jinx me.
Okay.
We just need a point here.
Jeez, this is so embarrassing, Will. I did not know I was going to have to... Oh, sorry, Melissa. I picked the right player.
Mine are jinxed. There's something wrong with those bags.
Yeah, these are the weighted ones.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you so much for joining us today. And where can people go for more information? And for...
Oh, my gosh.
There you go.
Jewels. Come find me on Instagram.
All right, I'm going to try this again. Maybe I'll get one.
Oh, there you go, my friend. There you go.
Oh.
The more you play, the better you get.
Yes, I love that. We'll be right back. If you bring it, they will play.
They will, I promise.
Wake up and win with CTV Your Morning and beancars.ca, and we could pay your bills with a massive $20,000. Just imagine what you can do with an extra 20 grand. The possibilities are endless. And today's code word for you is riches. So head over to our contest page at ctvottawa.ca, or you can scan that QR code you see right there on your screen. Enter the word riches with your information for your chance to win the Your Morning $20,000 Pay Your Bills contest. This is brought to you by beancars.ca in Carleton Place. Will.
Well, Eid Fest will be taking over this weekend, and the temperatures are nice. It is a great way to go support and enjoy a wonderful weekend. Shavim joins me now. He'll be one of the members that are going to be there. Good morning to you, my friend.
Hey, good morning.
So everything takes place on Saturday. Tell me a little bit about your business and what you do.
Yeah. So good morning.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is
your business.
So myself. Yeah. So myself, Shivam Patel. I am the one of the co-founders of the Chat Club.
Okay.
So we are basically three friends bringing our vision to the city.
Tell me about the other two friends that you have too. Who are the other two friends that you do it with?
Akshar and Karthik.
Oh, great. Okay.
Yeah.
You guys have done such a great job here. Tell me a little bit about some of the plates that you have. What's this first one right here?
Yeah, so this one is called dahi puri.
Okay.
So dahi means yogurt. Yeah, and this one on the other side.
Yeah.
It's called pani puri. It's just a crispy shell filled with potato and chickpeas filling.
I love it.
And you just have it with this flavorful waters. So this one is on a spicier note, and this one on a tangier and on a sweet side, right? So what we are doing, so we are bringing our South Asian street food, which is the chaats and the pani puri to the city. So we are looking forward to bringing this food items to the city, and serving the foodies. Serving the foodies and the broader communities.
I love that as well. You know, it must be really fun working with your friends on a business. Tell me a little bit how great that is, because at times I'm sure it can be difficult with your friends. But hey, we want to do things this way or this way. But how great is it to work with some close family and friends through this business?
Working with friends is amazing,
Yeah.
Because working with someone that
yeah.
You can trust them blindly, and it kind of gives you a family vibe to work together, right?
I love that as well. You can feel that when you come see you too, when you guys are all working together. Great to meet you, my friend. Mustafa, you will also be there as well. Good morning to you, my friend.
Good morning to you, Will.
Tell me a little bit about your business before we get going and what these beautiful scents have been smelling for the last half hour.
Thank you very much. Well, to give you a little bit of a background, our business is a family-run and operated business. We specialize in making inspired by and original scents. Our main focus is to make good quality products, long-lasting scents, but at an affordable price. And that's basically the main gist of what we do.
I'm so curious, family business, how did you get into this field specifically? Because it is a really unique journey to go down.
Of course. Well, ever since I was a kid, we've always been taught in our culture to smell good, collect perfumes, stand out. And funny enough, it at the end of the day ended up becoming a competition at the household with me and my cousins to just start collecting perfumes and who has a better collection. And my uncle as well is a perfumer. He's been doing this for about 20 plus years. So with all of that combined, we just decided to start a family business.
Wow, I love that. Okay, before we let you go, do you have a favorite scent that you like here?
So this is called Niche Pura, inspired by Xerjoff Herba Pura. This is one of my favorite parts when spraying the fragrances, the pressurized atomizer.
Ooh, look at that. And now,
and this one is...
Can we spin into that?
There you go, there you go.
I've got all down. Well, thanks for coming on the show
you.
to the two of you. Good luck this weekend. All the details are up there at the Nepean Sportsplex. Hopefully you guys have a wonderful time at Eat
You
Fest.
as well.
Thank you so much for
inviting us. Thank you very much.
All right, still to come on our show, the full forecast details. See what we see right now, beautiful temperatures and some beautiful sunshine. Get used to it. At least that's what Melissa's telling us, and I always trust her. Stay with us, friends. We'll be right back.
Ottawa is always on the move.
We're a big city
With a laid-back vibe.
where foodies love their sweets,
And markets bursting with flavor.
wrapped up in waterways.
And hot summer days.
This is a city where culture is on display.
And the future,
Meets the past.
where people come together.
Always proud
Often loud. Whee!
and positively the best place to live.
We move with you, Ottawa!
There is something special in every area. Join us for your neighborhood as we spotlight the people and places that bring the National Capital Region to life.
Your neighborhood on CTV Your Morning Ottawa. Brought to you in part by the Clemo. Choose the Clemo and start living your life your way.
Good morning to you, 8:30. Come on in. I'm Rosie Edda.
I'm Willie Yellow.
And I'm Melissa Lamb.
Coming up shortly after our news and our wonderful weather forecast. Rosie, you're going to be having a conversation that's really important right now, how to keep that grass green and lively through the spring and summer months.
Richie Feed and Seed will be here to take us through it all, walk us through. You got to keep your lawn long. You know, I was thinking you need to keep, you have to lawn mow the grass, keep it short, but that's apparently not the right thing to do at all. So we got some great tips on getting that lawn just ready for the summer. That is coming up in the next few minutes.
Love that, because they're so nice to just look at and go, yeah, I did that. Yeah. All right, coming up shortly, we'll start with our news headlines, and we begin with new questions over the timeline of the Ottawa campus at the Civic Hospital. So far at this point, when we take a look at the parking garage, it is the only thing that's being built at this time. Currently, when you take a look at just the hospital by itself, it remains with a hole in the ground. Ottawa South MPP John Fraser says that there is no end in sight, and he says that he's concerned construction could go well into the 2030s, and the price tag could skyrocket well beyond the original $3 billion budget. Meantime, the Ontario Health Coalition wants more action from the province.
So we have a local share that's going to be approaching $1 billion from about 300 million. $1 billion now. So that's a lot on the residents of Ottawa.
The hospitals are completely overwhelmed. They've got portables outside. They're using garages. Like, at what point do we say it's an emergency? All boots on the ground. Fix the hospital system in Ottawa.
The Ottawa Hospital says that the parking garage is expected to open this summer and that it is finalizing the design and construction timeline.
It was a dramatic scene east of downtown yesterday when an OC Transpo bus detached from a tow truck and careened into the side of a busy grocery store at train yards. It happened around 1 o'clock yesterday afternoon at the Farm Boys store on Belfast Road. OC Transpo says the decommissioned bus was being towed to a maintenance facility when it came loose and made contact with the building. OC Transpo police, fire, and MTO responded to the scene.
The bus was being towed by OC Transpo towing, and there was something that happened with the disconnection of the vehicle, and currently MTO is working on what could have created that disconnect.
Potential charges that could be laid under the Highway Traffic Act include having an insecure load, but the situation is still under investigation.
An Ottawa charity supporting kids and young adults with autism is sounding the alarm just weeks away from hosting its popular summer camp. Children at Risk says that its funding through the federal government summer jobs grant is being cut, putting Camp Kaleidoscope at risk. Camp Kaleidoscope relies on the Canada Summer Jobs Program to hire counselors. But for a second straight year, that stream of funding is being cut dramatically. The federal government is shifting its focus for the Canada Summer Jobs Program to support young workers in other sectors like trade and environmental protection. The charity that runs the camp applied for funding for 67 jobs. They were approved for just 10. Organizers say that makes operations difficult because the camp offers a 1-to-1 counselor to camper ratio to accommodate the complex needs of children with autism.
On April 14th, we received a decision from Canada Summer Jobs that we had a 50% cut in the number of jobs from last year, which was a 75% cut from the year before. Disabilities just don't seem to be top of mind today for the support out there through the government, and we want to know why.
Parents say that there is a real lack of support and programs available for Ottawa kids and youth with autism. Camp Kaleidoscope is set to run from July 6th until August 7th.
Former Environment and Climate Change Minister Stephen Guilbeault will quit the Liberal Party caucus today. Sources tell CTV News he is concerned about the Carney government's rollback of climate policies. 4 federal government sources tell CTV News one concern is the most recent iteration of an agreement with Alberta aimed at building a new pipeline. 14 Liberal MPs sent a letter to Carney before the agreement with the Alberta government was signed, expressing unease with the situation. The letter says they are concerned the government's credibility on the environment will be, quote, seriously compromised. We now know one of the 2 teams that will be playing for the Stanley Cup in the NHL final.
Vegas goes back to the Stanley Cup final.
The Las Vegas Golden Knights swept the Colorado Avalanche in the Western Conference Final. This marks the 3rd time Vegas has been to the Stanley Cup Final. They won it all back in 2023. The Golden Knights will face either the Montreal Canadiens or the Carolina Hurricanes. The Habs and Canes face off at the Bell Center in Montreal tonight. Puck drop, 8 p.m.
And a very important birthday celebration took place yesterday for one remarkable woman.
I think if you're kind and good to others, it's a great help and it makes you happy.
And her friends and community shared a great message with us yesterday for her milestone birthday. Margaret Hope turned 103, and she says the key to a long life is simple: be kind always.
The room was packed at her retirement home to celebrate Margaret on her really special day, 103 years old.
And still working the room, going around, talking, you know, it's what a great celebration.
Beautiful.
And still looking fashionable as well in her beautiful blue dress and her pearls and red lip. I love it so much. We had lots of beautiful sunshine yesterday, so maybe they got to go outside to celebrate.
Definitely. The sun was shining for Margaret's birthday.
Absolutely.
That's what we needed.
And we have more of that on the way for us today. So another day with some sunshine. A little bit cloudier later on this afternoon, but overall, the next couple days is looking sunny and quite warm. So sitting at 17 degrees here in the city, seeing lots of sunshine out there this hour. Stay within Brockville, Cornwall, 18 in Kingston, 14 still in the valley this morning. We could see some spotty showers. This is later on, mainly this evening into your overnight. We could see a few spotty showers in the forecast. Similar day to Thursday and Friday and Saturday, there's a chance, just a 30% chance of seeing these spotty showers. So won't ruin your day for the most part. We will see clear skies and lots of sunshine, but there is a slim chance of some little bit of wet weather. 24 for today, an increase of cloudiness later on this afternoon. Cornwall will also sit at 24, lots of sunshine on the way. Brockville 24, 21 for Valley as well as in Bancroft into your afternoon. 24 for Gatineau, same over in Montreal where again they could see a few scattered showers into the afternoon as well. Overnight dropping to 11 degrees. More average like temperatures as we head into Thursday. 22 is the high. Cooling off a little bit Friday and through Saturday, but still nice and warm, sitting at 20 and 19 degrees. Could see those spotty showers still. 20 degrees is the high Sunday and through Monday. Next week it will gradually warm up towards the middle of the work week. We do have lots of trouble spots on the roads. We have a collision on the Vanier Parkway at Riverside on the ramp heading eastbound onto the 417, so it is causing quite a few slowdowns this morning. It's also heavy eastbound on the 417 from Moody in through Maitland. Westbound on the Queensway, we're seeing buildup at Parkdale in through Bayshore, as well as at the 174 split in through Nicholas. Heading west on the 174, buildup beginning at 10th line and through the 417. The Champlain Bridge is moving slowly. All your other bridges are moving well. Construction continues on the 417 around Greenbank in both directions. Expect delays throughout your drive. And a reminder, traffic disruptions as well. Hunt Club Road and the Airport Parkway due to the CanSec trade show at the Coher Center. This is, make sure you give yourself some extra time if you're heading there to the airport today or even tomorrow. Rosie.
It's Yard Week on Your Morning Ottawa, and today we are telling you how to keep your lawn healthy all summer long. And we have Mike Ritchie here from Ritchie Feed and Seed to help us along. Good morning to you, Mike.
Good morning.
Good morning to you. Okay, let's get to it. We need to keep the lawn hydrated, is what you're saying.
Yes, so when it's not raining, so when you get into the hot months of July and August especially, or when you're planting new seed or overseeding, you definitely want to keep it hydrated. Grass needs water. This will also help make sure that weeds and stuff don't get in, because when the grass kind of goes dry, that's when other things move in.
Okay, Mike, I wanted to ask you, so let's say you get a stretch of dry weather, it's hot, maybe 3 days, no rain. When do you know that, okay, you know what, the grass needs some water?
Yeah, usually if you don't get it for a couple days and it's warmer weather, you basically want every couple, 2 to 3 days, depending on how things are going. Give it a good soaking in the morning.
That's
so a lot
good
of
to
people try to do it various times during the day for little spurts.
Yes.
But we usually find that having a good half an hour soak early morning where it can soak it in before it gets hot is a little bit better.
Okay, that's good to know. Next up, oh boy, nobody wants to see pests in their lawn, but you have to be aware of that.
Yeah, so at this time of the year, we're seeing a little bit of grub damage, the white grubs that turn into the Japanese beetles. They're the main one in the spring and the fall. And then going into June, there's a cinch bug, which also does very similar damage, but it hits the grass when it's hot and stressed already, so it can cause some more issues. So just be aware of the signs of that. There's a decent effective natural options like nematodes and a product called Grub Be Gone from Scott's that'll help do that and won't injure any beneficial bugs or anything like that. So
okay, do you just sprinkle it on the grass all around if you do see the pests?
The Grub Be Gone, yes. The nematodes is something that you hook up to a sprayer and you spray on your lawn.
Okay, and what does it do? The pests, do they eat the grass? How do they damage the grass?
So the grubs eat the roots. So they take the roots, so sometimes you won't see the damage till it gets really hot and dry, and it'll pop up quicker there. The cinch bugs are kind of right at the root level, and they take the nutrients out of the grass.
Okay, that is good to know. And something I did not know is that you need to keep the grass long.
Well, it helps. So especially in the hotter months, when you keep it a little bit higher, it dries out a little bit less. A lot of people like keeping it short for that kind of premium look, which is good. But if you do that, you do need to water more, and it will dry up quicker in the hotter months. So I usually in the spring, you can cut it a little bit shorter, but in July and August, you want to keep it a little bit longer, just so that it doesn't burn as quickly.
I feel like people like to mow their lawn a lot because it gives them such great satisfaction. You mow the lawn, you go, yeah, I did that.
Yeah, it's just bumping it up a little bit higher when you do mow it, that's all.
Okay, that's good to know. Okay, Mike, final board here. We got to keep it fed. How do you feed your lawn?
Yeah, so there's lots of different fertilizers, the regular, and then the Scott's and stuff, and then the natural, like hen manure. Keeping it fed, I usually say about 4 times a year in April, May, September, and October. You don't really want to give it much in July and August because grass usually goes dormant and doesn't take in a whole lot of nutrients, so just focus on watering on those months.
That is really good to know. Mike, thank you so much for coming by, showing us how to take care of our lawn. You all are open every day?
Every day, yeah. 7 days a week. We're open till 8 to 6 starting next week, Monday to Wednesday, 8 to 9 on Thursday and Friday, 8 to 5 Saturday, and 8 to 5 Sunday.
Ritchie Feed and Seed. Mike, thank you so much for coming by.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it. And now we're taking a live look through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam. It is 8:42. We're looking for a high in the low 20s today. It's going to be a great looking day. You're watching Your Morning Ottawa. We'll be right back. Good morning, Ottawa.
Ask the Expert on CTV Your Morning Ottawa is brought to you by Ottawa Treatment Centre.
And it is time to ask the expert on Your Morning Ottawa. And today we're speaking with registered psychotherapist Tina Fallis about the importance of boundaries and what it means to set them. Good morning to you.
Good morning, good morning.
Okay, first of all, let's just talk about boundaries and what it actually means when it comes to mental health.
Yeah, so boundaries are really something that governs our own behavior. And people sort of sometimes get that confused. It's not about controlling the other person, it's about setting guidelines for yourself and how you decide that you want to treat self and how you want to relate to others.
And why are setting these boundaries healthy in relationships?
They're really important because they create safety, they promote trust, they, in terms of like prevent sort of overextension of self. They guide sort of expectations and understandings in terms of just how I want to be treated, how I want to be spoken to, things like that.
Can you give us some examples of how someone could set these boundaries?
Yeah, so it's really important to sort of sit with that yourself and really kind of assess that and not make it from sort of a reactionary place. But an example I would give is sort of say we're having conflict with our partner and say they're using, rude language or adjectives or kind of swearing or whatnot. We would make it clear that, that doesn't feel good for us. And again, it's not about controlling what they do. It's about letting them know that if they use that type of way of communicating, that you're going to remove yourself from the situation and then pause and reconvene. So again, it's really not about taking the ownership or responsibility of someone else's behavior, trying to control their behavior. It's about going, this is my accountability piece to myself, and this is what kind of aligns with me and my values and what I need to feel, safe and secure and healthy in this relationship. And that's on me. That's a you thing.
And maybe your behavior doesn't work for me, so setting that boundaries. Why can it be hard for sometimes certain individuals to set these boundaries?
Yeah, that's a great question, and it can go way back to sort of our family of origin and sort of our primary caregivers, but sometimes maybe we've been conditioned to self-abandon, or we've been conditioned that our self-worth is attached to being agreeable, accommodating, always acquiescing. We could maybe be caught up in people-pleasing behaviors, or we could fear rejection, or we could fear kind of abandonment, as I said, or we could fear kind of our own, not fear, but rather not give ourselves permission, to do that, because we feel that we take on the responsibility of someone else's reaction or emotional response to that.
Talk about a little bit about why setting these boundaries are healthy for us.
Yeah, so it's really important because it prevents burnout, it prevents overwhelm, it really is key to our mental health and physical well-being, and so it really is in how we treat ourselves, and it's about the relationship with the self and our self-worth and self-respect, and it really needs to be that guiding framework because we really need them, whether, as I said, it's with self in terms of how that I matter and my needs matter, not overextending, whether it's with friends, family, colleagues, that sort of thing. So it really is the foundational piece one of the foundational pieces to promoting wellness.
And why is it harder for some people to set these boundaries?
Yeah, I think for some people, again, it goes back to they can't really, it's about they can't give themselves permission, right? Or they feel guilty, or they feel this over responsibility to caretake and of someone's sort of reaction or disappointment, and they're not really valuing themselves and how they care for themselves. So it can really be problematic, right? Because long term, as I said earlier, right, it can lead to resentment, burnout, poor mental health, poor physical health. So there's a consequence, there's a ripple effect to not having boundaries because they really do provide that sort of clarity and clear understanding in relationships.
Wonderful. You're going to stick around and we're going to continue this conversation. Of course, if you would like to get a hold of Tina and the team, you can call them at 613-298-4971. You can also reach them on their website, ottawatreatmentcenter.com. They are located at 139 Holland Avenue.
Ask the Expert on CTV Your Morning Ottawa is brought to you by Ottawa Treatment Center.
And today we are talking all about boundaries with Ottawa Treatment Centre. Tina Fallis is here, registered psychotherapist. Let's talk a little bit more about some misconceptions when it comes to boundaries.
Yeah, so I think sometimes people get confused with boundaries around, they think it's about the other person.
Okay.
You know, and they kind of can get it, that can cause some distress around that because they think, okay, well, I'm really needing to control the other person, or this is about the other person, or this, and it's actually not. It's really, it's you are the keeper of the boundary. The onus is on you, and so it's really to, when you're making them, to really sit with and reflect. You know, what aligns with my values? What am I needing to feel good within myself and in relationship, and whether that's family, friends, colleagues, whichever environment you're in, but really understanding that. Another misconception is that people are going to support it, or you know, or not have a negative reaction to it. And the reality is that sometimes people will. They will have a negative reaction, but that's also information. You know, because what we say is that those that benefit from you not having boundaries, like think about that, right? It can be problematic, right, in terms of how it's serving them. And another misconception is that I think is that, you know, in relationship, because we care about others, is sort of feeling like I'm responsible for their reaction or their disappointment, and you're not. I mean, that's a them thing, not a you thing. And they're allowed to be disappointed or feel how they want to feel, and you're allowed to take the choice that, you know, to set that boundary and to be clear about that, and make that choice that aligns with that.
What are some warning signs that you may need to set some boundaries in your life?
Well, I think one of the big ones is, and what we see especially in workplace environments, is burnout. Another one is sort of where we're not really feeling good within our relationships, like in our intimate partner relationships. If we're not feeling like there's reciprocity, if we feel like we're always overextending, if we feel like, you know, I'm always at the bottom, I'm always, you know, my needs are last met. If we're feeling overwhelmed, fatigued, again, we'll see, you know, physical symptoms of that as well, in terms of just feeling run down, feeling, you know, not feeling energized and whatnot. And I would say another big piece around that is just how it's affecting, you know, is there a knock-on effect, right? Like, are we having a short fuse with our children, perhaps? You know, are there other ways in which we're seeing patterns that we're not maybe functioning?
Like a ripple effect almost.
Yeah.
And how can a registered psychotherapist or mental health advocate really help someone set boundaries?
Yeah, so I mean, it's really about sitting with them and understanding first the origins of it. You know, does this stem from a childhood pattern of behavior where you were conditioned in terms of, as we mentioned earlier, around self-abandonment, abandoning needs? So really understanding the origins of it, and then really sort of gaining some insight is, where are there places within my life that I'm having problems, or I'm seeing patterns of behavior, and really assessing, like, what is the cost of that? You know, what is the cost of that to me in not having those boundaries? And then with the help of the professionals, sort of going, okay, these are maybe some places where I can start to implement some boundaries, and then of course support in maintaining them. Because as I mentioned earlier, people will push back. You know, they will, because maybe you're no longer meeting the need that they wanted you to meet, right? So maybe they're going to take an issue with that. And I think, just to go back, I think that's another misconception, is just because it feels uncomfortable, or just because maybe you're getting that negative feedback, it doesn't mean that you're wrong. It doesn't mean that it's not healthy.
Thank you so much for joining us today. We would truly appreciate it. And of course, if you would like to contact Tina or the team, ottawatreatmentcenter.com is the website. You can also give them a call, 613-298-4971, and they are located at 139 Holland Avenue. That's all the time we have for us here this morning on Your Morning Ottawa. We'll be back here tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. Have a great day.